Welcome into the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. We've got a good one on our hands tonight on this Thursday afternoon as we get closer and closer to Halloween. And it's going to be a very scary night for the members playing against Boise State's Overwatch team in our pair of games, though one of them will be Broncos, but we'll get to that one later because we're going to kick things off with Boise State taking on Illinois Wesleyan in an NECC match. So if you're unfamiliar, we will play all three maps regardless of the score after the first two, so don't be confused. If it's Boise State 2-0 when we head still to map number 3, that's just how the rules require it. I am Michael Fisher, joined by Colby D'Angelo Alloway to call all of the action. At D'Angelo, I've been told it's the Boise State blue team, and they've been running over some fools. We talked about it before the show. They've only dropped one map, so Illinois Wesleyan, they're going to have their work cut out for them. Oh, yes, absolutely. It is a scary night indeed for Illinois Wesleyan there, going against Boise State blue. And I mean, but it's a great night to be a Boise State fan, at least we hope. We hope. We could definitely hope. Now, the Titans are 2-0. They have 5-1 overall. I know they had some early season issues that prevented them from playing some of their games. I will say, speaking of issues, I do still have music playing in my headphones, so if we could take care of that, because as much as I love the Halloween spirit, it's hard to hear myself think. Thank you very much, production, for that one. But yeah, they are 2-0. They are 5-1. So they haven't played as many games as Blue, who I believe is sitting at 4-0, but it is going to be a tougher opponent for the Broncos here tonight to kick things off. A tough opponent. I mean, winning wouldn't be anything without competition. True. And I am feeling pretty good about a Bronco win here just because it's blue team and because they're just so dominant and so amazing. Each and every member is just so amazing at what they do, and it will be an absolute joy to watch. Yeah, Blue, as we mentioned, Blue has been absolutely on fire. As we see there, the rules for the New England Collegiate Conference Overwatch breakdown. It is 17 schools, round robin, record seed, the playoffs. Boise State currently has the best record in the tournament, and Becker College, a team they beat, and some other schools are in a close second. So it is still going to be making sure that the Broncos finish things off accordingly and make sure they head into the playoffs strong, as we talked about in NECC when we saw them earlier in the week. The blue team also undefeated in that. So they really are not losing regardless of what tournament it is. We'll see if the blue team can keep that up tonight as we kick things off here momentarily against Illinois Wesleyan.
Absolutely. And an undefeated record speaks for itself. So, I mean, I think they're going to keep that up.
Take a look there. I will say that is the Rocket League standing, so we'll make sure we flip that over. Don't want to take away, because I know the Boise State Orange team is not doing that poorly, so hopefully we can get that one updated, because Orange and Blue at the top of this conference. I think Orange has only lost one game so far, and their loss was to Midland, who is the only team I believe took a map off Blue. So Orange and Blue right now in Overwatch, they are absolutely on fire, and I hope to continue that trend tonight with Blue taking on Illinois Wesleyan, and then as we said, Blue versus Orange later in the night. So I'm excited for a quick little 2-match in Overwatch, and hopefully it's just bang, 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 Bronco win, and we're done.
Absolutely. And I mean, for the second match, either way, it's going to be a Bronco win. It just determines on whether or not you should wear the blue or the orange celebratory shirt there for the Bronco win. And we're hoping for a Bronco win on this first map here, too, and it's looking pretty likely. I mean, an undefeated record speaks for itself, and Boise State's amazing just track record and player stats and individual SR also speak for themselves. So I, again, do believe it is going to be quite a scary night. I mean, as it should be, 8 days away from Halloween.
As you see production holding down the fort there, making sure everything looking sounds good. And just like that, we'll transition into how Boise State Overwatch can look good on the maps here in a little bit as we get Doc's keys to the game, win that first fight, have some better target focus. I will say Blue has been absolutely awesome with it. Respect their ultimates, and Bagel don't feed. I guess Doc making sure that Boise State, hey, we need that Lucio, so you better make sure that you are always alive. It's brought to you by Account, whose Identity Trust Global Network delivers real-time fraud prevention, account protection, and has a personalized customer experience for one of the 9,000 leading brands of payment providers. So if you want to stay safe online, go check them out at count.com, KOUNT.com, as we get into Control, and you have told me, D'Angelo, it is going to be on Ilios.
Most likely on Ilios. I know that that is the blue and orange game, and so since it is the same general turn, I sincerely, you know, if it's wrong, I'm going to cry. I'm just going to cry here on stream, and it's going to be horrible. And it's not Ilios. Here we go.
Sit. You can't deal with this. No, I'm just kidding. I'll live as we get ready to, wait. Why is Goblin
5,
on Ana?
4, 3,
Oh, no.
2,
Apparently Goblin supporting today.
I believe in the Goblin on it. We've seen him do some absolutely amazing flanks and do some absolutely amazing hit scan things, so I mean they should be watching their purples there.
They did swap over to the Moira at the last second, but it's still not a role that we are very familiar with him on. We see Plato and Rezo going to be the Broncos' DPS, and they're going to take it right on to Illinois Wesleyan, although the Broncos in the orange are the ones dropping low as Guac is down, but the first elimination going to go onto Flash Fatal. We also see Kodak going to be taken down there. We do see one kill picked up by the Titans, going to be onto Guac. Right now the Broncos doing a really good job. The point has unlocked as well. KC going to go away, so will Snowbin. It looks like the other two members going to fall off. It's a train of jumping bodies as the Broncos get the point first.
Yeah, that was a nice clean reset for all of the members that needed to reset, and a little sacrifice on behalf of Guac to get that for Rezo to get that next elimination. That was absolutely amazing. And now Boise State is sitting at 70% to EMP, and Wesleyan should be scared.
And Wesleyan, the Transcendence is at about 63, so it probably won't be up for the EMP. Guac going to get stunned, doesn't have the over discord on him, but he should be able to retreat. Now Goblin has it, he's going to prompt the Coalescence immediately, and a 4-man EMP is going to come out on the other side of the wall. Boise State's immediately going to pick up 3. Flash Fatal can't get away either. And there's that EMP you were talking about, D'Angelo. It's going to end up for a 5K for Boise State.
Yes. Really quickly, as we're sitting here, how do we pronounce that Echo's name, Fish?
Dash.
It's Dash. It's Dash. Yep. Absolutely amazing. I was going to call it like Straight Line or something, so I'm glad we had that talk. I was just a little bit distracted by the amazing Boise State team kill by having no idea what to call that Echo.
Yeah, I was debating between Line or Straight Line, as you mentioned. We're just going to go with Dash there for the Illinois Wesleyan Echo, unfortunately. That's the best we can come up with. We see a Diva Buff go in on the back line, picks up Snowbiz. Chicks has fallen as well. Plato does go down. Tactics wide to do use, but Kel gets right in his face. Nice defense matrix as well to eat a ton of that damage. Meanwhile, on the other side, Goblin and Rezo are going to pick up 2. Kel out of the mech, baby. Diva versus Soldier came close, but not quite. But a large Bagel's got the backup, and Boise State once again going to win another fight.
A large Bagel came in with that backup. That Diva got him very, very low. And if it were a 1v1, and if that Echo hadn't came to save him, I would have put my money on Kel there. That was some absolutely amazing baby Diva play. However, However, Boise State does need to be very careful and ult first this next fight, as we are at a severe ultimate disadvantage.
Dash going to be taken down by Plato before he can ult. Val, Garitic Flux, and Transcendence have all been used. A large bagel throughout his sound barrier as well. As you see the remaining shield on Goblin just now fade, but the Titans have picked up their first 3 eliminations of the round as they get Plato, Large Bagel, and Goblin. Bang, bang, bang. Now the Broncos are in overtime, so it's not too much of a concern as the point flips.
Yes, as the point flips 99 to 2%, there things are still looking pretty good for the Broncos, especially because they are so close to EMP, and that is really all they need is one clean fight win with that EMP, which they now have up there. So Boise State looking pretty good to retake this and win this map.
See Guac swap over to the Winston, which actually is going to be a double whammy because it's going to prevent Dash from cloning the Reinhardt, which has usually been the popular target. You see a nice knock off the edge on the Kiki. It's actually going to copy onto the Sombra. 3-man EMP going to be dropped by Plato. Rezo tried to combo with the Death Block, but unfortunately they couldn't find anything. There's Dash. He's going to drop down his own EMP before the clone fades. He's able to hit 2. And Boise State down 3 members. The Titans down 1. As Flash Fatal's been hacked. Dash dropping low. He'll follow the Coalescence. Codex goes down as well, but gets res. We see Goblin pick up another one on the Snowbits as Cal's taken out of the mech and does fall. Boise State has flipped the point back in their favor, but it looks like once again Illinois Wesleyan going to get the point.
Wow, that was something of a fight to watch there. I do believe we just witnessed a Zenyatta carry unloading those orbs into the ulting Reaper's head. That is 100% what saved them that fight, because he was set up there to get a solid triple kill off of that EMP Blossom combo, but you can't kill anybody if you're dead.
You see Dash is swapped over to the Tracer, so he's not going to have anything for a while. They're going to immediately start it with the bomb from Diva. It's going to pick up one. Rezo gets another one on the Flash Plato. Guac has gone down. Tactical Visor going to be used, but he's not going to stand a chance against TC. We do see the Transcendence used by Chicks. Unfortunately, he's really only healing himself. This Tracer's going to dash away. Valkyrie's been used, but a nice hack onto Snobus is going to cut that wings off of the Mercy and immediately take him down. The Broncos getting the point once again. Dash falling. We do see it looks like a swap over onto the Wrecking Ball for Flash Fatal. He will be taken out. TC can't get back either, and it looks like Boise State, all they're going to execute here is a nice body block or a team kill. It's going to be the former as the Broncos pick up the first control round.
Spectacular team kill there. However, Illinois Wesleyan did not necessarily get rolled as hard as we thought they were going to, because if they had contested the point on those 2 fights that they won and on this last one, if they had contested the point on that fight that they won when Boise State flipped it, and even just there, we would have been at a solid 99 to 99. So you know that Boise State is going against a relatively worthy opponent here. It's actually really close.
Yeah, it was, as you mentioned, that was one thing that stood out, is even though Boise State lost the fight those 2 times, they pushed Illinois Wesleyan off to the point where the Broncos were able to flip it, and as you mentioned, the Titans lost probably about 30%. So it'll be curious to see on the next map how things go. We do see for now Dash is going to swap over to the Widowmaker, Kisi's going to go onto the Tracer, and Codex on the Diva as Illinois Wesleyan going to come out with their own Diva Winston.
And I mean, Diva Winston definitely is the superior comp in here, just on this set of maps in general.
Roadhog probably not going to land many hooks up on the high ground. And once again, Boise State health bar's dropping low. Kel with the Orb Discord forced to retreat to a health pack before jetpacking back up into the air. Guac and Plato both very low as well. As DC doing some work on that Tracer, able to dash just barely out of range of Kel with the point unlocking. Neither team has found it. Orb Discord going to land onto Guac, and he is incredibly low. But once again, first elimination onto Chicks, hack onto Codex, and he's not going to be able to boost away, so the mech falls, and so does the baby Diva. And that should open things up for Boise State. Flash Fatal tries to fall on the point and immediately goes down. Dash has picked up 1, but as a Widowmaker, you're not expecting him to be anywhere near the point. Nice contest there by Kiksi, who's very close to that pulse bomb, but this should finally be enough for Boise State to catch.
Yes, absolutely, and though that was a long fight, it didn't lose them any percentage, and they did play to their win condition based on their current comp, and just in general, a lot of the comps they run, wait until they get a pick. Most of their comps rely on getting a pick and then going in, and then so once that Zenyatta was dead, I was like, there it is, guys. That's when Boise State is going to hard push.
Plato very close to that EMP. See the pulse bomb up. It's going to be a 4-man EMP. Chicks and Flash Plato immediately go down. Pulse bomb from Kiksi not going to land onto anything. Nice hack going to land onto Snobus, who has the Valkyrie available. He might be able to get away. He will not. We do see Dash is now trans over to the Sombra, so he definitely wants to get some of the EMPs of his own.
Oh yes, absolutely. They've realized how dominant of a performance Plato has been doing, and just the absolutely amazing EMPs and hacks He's averaged about 1 EMP charge per fight, so that's been absolutely amazing, and his ultimate charging has just been fantastic.
You see Illinois Wesleyan's full copy Boise State here. Coalescence going to be used by Goblin, plus a Death Blossom from Rezo's going to pick up 3. And now you can see Illinois Wesleyan trying to get away. Snowbus, KECC both going to jump off the edge. They want a clean reset, and they're going to try here for a couple more fights.
They are absolutely. The thing about going a full mirror is you either have to outskill them on an individual level on the individual heroes, or you have to out-ult them, and Boise State easily was able to out-ult them that fight. However, things are looking a little bit scary by way of Diva Bomb, but even after 73% of the point, Boise State's done an absolutely amazing job of managing ultimates, so we're not even down really.
Lano does get picked off there. Both primal ranges have been popped by Guac and Flash Fatal. Dash was already winning as we see a nice pick onto Goblin there. Rezo going to get hacked and go down as well. So Dash is going to have the EMP up. Plato's only at 72% as Cal gets forced out of the mech trying to retreat. And it looks like now it's the Broncos' turn for a full reset. We'll see if Illinois Wesleyan can avoid overtime, and they will be quite close.
Yes, and because Illinois Wesleyan is sitting at the ultimates they are, just after that one fight, this is proof of how worthy an opponent for Boise State they are. They're sitting close to and on very important ultimates, most notably the Death Blossom EMP combo that Boise State will have to be very careful of, and a large bagel has all the pressure on him to make sure that fight is successful.
There's a 4-man EMP plus the bomb going to come out there from Codex, picks up 2. Chicks is going to get another one, and Codex gets a triple kill there. So it wasn't the EMP Blossom, but the EMP bomb that we've seen Boise State pull out that caught the Broncos off guard.
Yes, absolutely, and I do believe that they were going into that fight just as a dry fight to get some ultimates out, because we didn't see any ultimates out from the side of Boise State. And because of that last fight, now the ultimate economy has tipped in Boise State's advantage, because now they have their EMP. But
did Bagel sound barrier?
Yes, he did sound barrier. I just realized that what I said was entirely inaccurate, because Bagel did sound barrier in there, and if he had not, the advantage would have been Boise State's.
There's a 2-man EMP, cut short the Coalescence. We're going to see Snowbus drop down his own sound barrier. Boise State's up 1.5. There's the Death Blossom combined in a little bit late, but it's not going to matter. It picks up Codex and KECC. Dash trying to get away on that Sombers. We'll see Guac win the battle of the monkeys. He's going to take down Flash Fatal. Boise State still has not unlocked the point. Nice contest by Illinois Wesleyan, but it's going to flip, and now the Titans got to be quick to stay in overtime.
Yes, to keep it in overtime, and I mean, at this point, they are just staggering in bodies and throwing them on the point, and I mean, it's going to take some sort of miracle to flip that back around, and a miracle that, unfortunately for Wesleyan, did not happen.
It is Boise State versus Illinois Wesleyan in the NECC in Overwatch. Pair of undefeated teams is Boise State Blues sitting at 4-0. Illinois Wesleyan sitting at 2-0. They had some issues earlier in the season, so that's why the number of matches played doesn't quite add up, but still a very fearsome opponent for Boise State, but they are currently winning 1-0 after that control. Well, we've got the Rocky Mountain Warfare Redux coming. I know a lot of people love this event when we had it in October, and we're going to bring it right back November 6th and 7th. It's our Warzone Duos tournament in partnership with the Idaho Army National Guard. If you want to get in, you want to get registered, you check out any of their social media at the bottom of the screen there and get in. I know it was a ton of fun to have. Love working with the Idaho Army National Guard, and I cannot wait for November 6th and 7th. But right now, D'Angelo, I can't wait to see how Boise State does on our next map.
Absolutely. We knew this map was going to be somewhat of a challenge for Boise State, but they are definitely rising to the challenge. We've seen them make some pretty serious growths and some pretty serious mistakes. But Boise State is and always has been a learning team. And so, even though Bagel flubbed that one sound barrier, I do not believe that is something that we will see again, because he is a very good player and is capable of learning, obviously. And then also, we've seen some amazing DPS ultimate usage, particularly on the side of Rezo with his Death Blossom. He had that one where he got popped in the head by the Zenyatta, but then after that, he's just done an absolutely amazing job of staying out of everyone's way and making sure that he got the value out of those ultimates that he needed to get.
Yeah, and I don't really think you can really be too upset about a large bagel, because he played it perfectly, right? I mean, it's every time we talk about it. EMP goes out, boom, you slam the sound barrier down, and you're like, hey, let's eat whatever ult comes after it. It was just unfortunate that it wasn't a Death Blossom that you and I were expecting. It was the Diva Bomb that actually came out. So, yeah, you can't be mad at a large bagel. Ended up working out. Boise State just chewed through the other sound barrier extremely quickly. So, it's a very talented team, but once again, we're seeing why Blue is really not run into any issues so far this year. Oh, yes, absolutely. Blue is an absolutely amazing team. They know what they need to do, and all of their members have the skill to do it. And so here we are on King's Row, much to your chagrin, I am sure. However, it doesn't seem like any cheese strats will be running. No, it doesn't look like it. Boise State's had a couple of the cheese strats, and right now they've been pretty vanilla, as we do see it as Control, Hybrid, and Escort. Is not a best of 3, though. We are going to play all 3 maps regardless, as they do take overall map score into account. That's why we do reference that the Broncos have only dropped 1 map as we kick things off here. The Titans, though, I mean, while they're going to go with the same comp from last time, we do have a swap over to Azaria for Boise State. That's about the only change, as Codex will be taken out of the mech. A nice hack from Plato is what sets that one up. Maybe even still alive as Flash Fatal gets taken down on the backline, and Guac is swinging the hammer. Plato's going to pick up another one. Goblin gets Kixi, and this should be an easy payload. Nice knife there by Guac on the dash, and that's an easy payload win for the Broncos.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And Plato enabled all of that with his initial hack on the Diva. Guac was just like, oh, all right, let's push in. Let's kill the monkey. And then there you are. You're up 2. You have the payload, and now Boise State just needs to take the space.
Illinois Wesleyan is playing a lot of copycat here. They lose 1 fight, immediately Codex is going to switch over to the own version of their Zarya, so it definitely looks like the Titans like, hey, Boise State's really good. Let's just copy whatever they do. Chigas barely wins the battle of the Coalescences, but neither of them have been propped quite yet. They're both going to come out at the exact same time. Some dual laser beam action going down. Guac going to get hacked. As we see the grab has come out, Death Blossom is used by Rezo to make up for it, and that's a Boise State 5K as Chigs just barely able to get away.
There it is, and even though Boise State used a lot of high-power ultimates there, we are sitting on EMP Shatter now, which will be our next fight's win condition. However, Plato needs to make sure that he hacks the Lucio, or the Lucio is dead beforehand, otherwise it will be all for nothing.
Codex sitting at about 60% on his own grab, not swapping until after the Broncos unlock the payload, so that's going to set him back. Maybe Kel can even catch up on that and have another grab. We'll have to see. As you mentioned, it's the sound barrier up for Illinois Wesleyan. It's the Shatter EMP combo. There it is. There's the 4-man EMP. There's the Shatter as well, going to land on 2-3. Snowbus didn't even get in range to use the ultimate as 4 members of the Titans go down. It looks like Dash and Snowbus just going to run away as Dash picks up 1.
Now the ultimate advantage is finally in Wesleyan's side. However, the ultimate advantage is a little more than a consolation prize, as Boise State has capped that point and now are on their final stretches.
Now maybe you have to wonder if the Titans had planned for a dry fight there, because there's plenty of time for Snowbus to get in range and sound barrier, but I guess they're waiting. As you mentioned, they've got the sound barrier EMP Shatter combo, but Kixi going to be the first one taken down. There's a 4-man EMP, a double Shatter going to land onto the Bronco tank line, and Flash Fatal is able to pick in both up. Goblin has been hacked as well, but he's going to be able to survive, and they're going to be able to take down Dash. Sound barrier is still being sat on by Snowbus. Grab up for Codex, as the Broncos right now just trying to stay alive with a full pair of respawns. Flash Fatal going to take in another one. Plato in the back line, but I think the Boise State's going to probably retreat and wait for the rebound.
Oh yes, absolutely. Plato is just trying to get as much EMP charge as he can get out of that, so he can probably combo it with Blossom. And Boise State is also coming up on the grab. So even though we did lose that fight, and we still are at an ultimate disadvantage, Boise State needs to take another dry fight here, and then things will be relatively even, and possibly even in Boise State's favor.
See the grab come out from Codex. Shield holding for now. Sound barrier used by a large bagel. Now we're going to see the Death Blossom drop from Kixi as the shields fade. That was a really good play there as Codex hits 1 more. Rezo does pick up the Kixi, so it's going to be a 2-for-1, but now the Broncos starting to bleed some members, and they're going to retreat only using that sound barrier.
I am not sure that we got enough of our own ultimates charge to justify using that sound barrier. I do believe it was reflexive, but Boise State knew that they were going to lose that fight anyway. They knew they were walking into too many ults to negate with a single sound barrier, and I don't know that Boise State members got enough ult charge to justify using it.
Grab's going to come out from Kel. There's the Death Blossom going to be used. Snowbus gets down the sound barrier onto 3. That's enough to keep the remaining members of the Titans alive. We do have both EMPs up, but a hack onto Plato's going to stop him from using it for now, and the Broncos just going to run down the Titans and take out 4, make that 5. It's just Flash Fatal left alive as the payload rounds the final corner.
Payload is rounding its final corner, and things are looking pretty good with Boise State. As long as we land a better EMP or a faster EMP than Illinois Wesleyan, I would say that this final cap is ours.
EMP Shatter up for both. Swap over from Snowbus. There's the EMP, just lands onto a large bagel. Plato's going to use his, and it didn't land onto anyone. Shatter came out from both, and unfortunately for Boise State, they are the ones falling. Immortality Field going to be used, immediately taken down. Broncos down 4th. The Coalescence comes out from Goblin, and they're going to have to be forced to retreat. So a couple of whiffs from the EMP Shatters, and that's going to favor Illinois Wesleyan.
Yes, that is going to favor Illinois Wesley, but going back to the sound barrier usage, I do believe that if we had had sound barrier that fight, things might have been a little different. I mean, things also might have been a little different if we had just gotten more value out of the EMP.
see Snovus has swapped over, so he is going to have the window up very soon as Guac gets taken out by Dash. Now the grab coalescence is up for Illinois Wesleyan. Flash Fatal goes down. Immortality Field is alive. Kel can't quite snipe it, and it's just going to despawn on its own. Payload is very close to capping, and right now the Broncos just waiting for a couple of check marks. There's the grab. Death Blossom almost up, but they're still waiting.
The Broncos are waiting for a clean team wipe, and usually the easiest way to do that is with ultimates.
Well, Codex is going to use his grab. Kel's going to use his own, but reminiscing of the GOATS days here with a couple of grabs, and there's the Death Blossom from Rezo to pick up one. Kel gets another one, but a coalescence is used by Chig. Novus throws down the window, sitting in on the back line. Sound barrier from a large base kept everyone from Boise State alive. Immortality Field used. It's keeping the remaining members of Titans alive, and there's a nice EMP from Plato. And it looks like the Broncos going to be able to cap it with 2 minutes, 23 seconds left on the clock.
And that was an absolutely amazing hold by Illinois Wesleyan there by winning that fight and then proceeding to hold them for another 3 minutes, because Boise State did come to that point with almost 6 minutes on the clock. However, they were held at 2 minutes and 33 seconds, so that really is a testament to how even of a match this is against Illinois Wesleyan. Hopefully it's still an even match that Boise State will come out victorious in. I will say one thing about the sound barriers, though. Yes, it makes sense to sound barrier and a grab, but if you already know it's a lost fight, I mean, really the only reason you would use a sound barrier in that case is to try to get ult charge, and I'm not sure that we got enough ult charge to justify having used the sound barrier on a lost fight. I think we're using our sound barriers just a little too reflexively and not thinking about whether or not it will actually save the fight or could get more use in just like the very next fight as it played out just then.
No, I think you put that perfectly. It feels like we've seen a couple of reflexive sound barriers from a large bagel, which they're not bad plays. I mean, as you mentioned, grab comes down, sound barrier. EMP comes down, sound barrier, but it is something where if they held them, maybe they could win the next fight and it could have been a little bit quicker. But Broncos still got to be happy in for him once. Never mind, I saw the Widowmaker, but no. I was going to say, you said it's been very even. Part of that's because Illinois Wesleyan just said, hey, Boise State plays that well. Let's steal it.
I mean, absolutely. The issue with doing that, though, is Boise State is a team. If you're running mirror comps, you either have to use ultimates better or have higher individual skill. And while I do believe Boise State has a higher individual skill, Illinois Wesleyan has been getting a huge amount of value on ultimates, and Boise State has been somewhat lacking, particularly in just support ult.
The one swap that the Broncos chose to make pays off beautifully as we see Plato on the Junkrat got a huge pick on the Chigs as the match started with those grenades, and 2 more members of Illinois Wesleyan fall, and now Keeksy going to go on to that Widowmaker, try and open up their face.
That's a good 25 seconds won there by them not expecting a Junkrat, and Plato playing an amazing Junkrat.
Right now, there's still the Widowmaker, hasn't got much value. Finally, Illinois Wesleyan starting to push through that first choke, but Plato's just throwing grenades and getting a ton of hit markers from those grenades. Kel's going to take down Flash Plato, but we are going to see Dash pick up Guac. Plato's going to re-engage and try and hunt down the remaining members as Rezo takes down Kodik, and Boise State should be sending the Titans back to their spawn. We see the coalescence used by Goblin, and Chig once again has fallen as it's a full retreat, and we see Keeksy back on the Reaper.
And Guac will be back for next fight. However, there is one downside to Plato's Junkrat fish. What do you think it is?
He's not Reaper, or he's not Sombra, I mean, excuse me.
Absolutely amazing, but also their Zarya grab is going to be charging much faster than normal.
Well, there's that grab. They're going to use a Riptire with it as well, and it's going to pick up 2. He says, take that for a counter, Zarya. Dash does get 1, Kel gets another one. So that's all you got to do. You wait, you save your Riptire when they're all, you know, getting a little overexcited about the grab coming out.
Yeah, that was an absolutely amazing counterplay. I have to believe that Plato expected them to charge a grab quickly. I mean, as most comfortable Junkrat players do. If you go Junkrat, you're doing so knowing that you're going to make life a little bit easier for the Zarya.
Kel has his own grab up. Shatter's coming up soon. It is online for Flash Fatal, and Death Blossom's up for Rizzo. Keeksy swapped around so much that he's only sitting at 22%. Dash nearly goes down, but he is going to be able to survive. Both coalescents have been used. Kel's now going to use his grab, but a sound barrier and a shatter are going to shut it down. We're going to see Guac throw his own shatter, picks up 2, takes down Snovus and the mech, and now we're going to see an individual hack onto Cal as Boise State has lost 2, Illinois Wesleyan has lost 4. A panic EMP is going to come out, and it's not going to matter. Does get the sound barrier out of a large bagel, but it's not going to find anything else for Illinois Wesleyan, and the Titans are going to be forced to retreat.
See, and that is the epitome of a reactive sound barrier. That was a panic EMP, and that was a really, really bad EMP. They were down and they were not going to win that fight, and now they've lost their win condition for next fight, but we've also lost a huge defensive ultimate because of that.
You see no ults in the game, really up above 60%. Flash Plato and Plato leading the way respectively for the teams, as we do see once again Illinois Wesleyan going to push around this statue. Grenades coming out. We see a couple members for the Titans dropping low. Dash below 50% health, and so is Squawk. He's not going to be able to be stabilized, and Keeksey's going to be able to push him down. And a nice Shatter's going to come out from Flash Fatal, and they're going to get a wipe onto Boise State. It's the team kill, and the payload unlocked with 50 seconds.
The payload unlocking, I do not actually believe would have happened if Boise State had held on to that sound barrier instead of reactively using it. And obviously, reactively using a sound barrier, it's reactive for a reason. You hear an EMP, you sound barrier. But that was already a lost fight, and they were blowing it on a lost fight, and there was no reason for us to have used our sound barrier there, especially when it would have saved Kwok, our Reinhardt, the very next fight.
See a re-engage came out from Boise State. I don't know if the Broncos thought they could get there before the payload capped or not, but they're going to be able to take down 2 members of Illinois Wesleyan and make it 3 as Goblin takes down Snowbiz, and they're going to put them right back in their spot.
I do not think that Illinois Wesleyan was ready for Boise State to push with that amount of vigor there, and I think that's worked to Boise State's especially ultimate advantage.
Coalescence used by Goblin. There's a couple more ults as the Riptire is going to be used by Plato as well. Isn't going to be able to find anything except for the mech off of Codex, who's just now going to be taken down by Goblin. So once again, the Broncos just stalling out for time, and you can see Illinois Wesleyan already near that 2-minute mark.
They are nearing that 2-minute mark indeed, and Broncos are doing a close hold, which is again much like close holds on Havana. Even if you get clean wiped here, you can contest again before second point. You can actually get a potential of 3 fights if you hold right outside their spawn with ultimate advantage.
Grab going to be used there by Kel. Death Blossom going to be dropped down by Rizzo. Chig's going to try and use the Coalescence to keep the members alive, but he's so far away from his spawn, he's not going to find a way back. Boise takes down 3, and the Titans running out of time, so they have 4 ultimates.
Yes, they do have 4 ultimates. Boise State should be expecting a relatively clean wipe this next fight, depending on whether or not Plato gets an absolutely humongous Riptire. I mean, you can't really expect yourself to sustain through 4 ultimates, so I do think, well,
that's one way to do it, is just take out the Reaper. There's another way to do it with the Junk Tire. Kodak's going to lose the mech as well, and Chig's not able to get back in. The payload had been pushed momentarily, but great. Hey, that's how you shut down 4 ultimates. You just get the kill on the most important one of these Death Blossoms.
Yes, absolutely, but they're still holding on to them, and Boise State is just kind of playing the waiting game, and Illinois Wesleyan really needs to get those ultimates out if they want to get out of their spawn. They shouldn't waste time trying to go for the payload. They should get Boise State out of their spawn door before they try to push anymore.
Shatter, Sound Barrier, EMP, Diva Bomb, and Death Blossom. Everything at the disposal of the Titans. It's just a Shatter Sound Barrier up for Boise State. It's a cheeky play there, and it's going to be a Shatter landing just onto Codex. There's a 4-man EMP plus a 3-man Shatter. Nice Sound Barrier by a large Bagel. Unfortunately, Snow is going to drop his as well. The Broncos sitting down 2. Keeksey dropping low. Goblin going to drop down the Coalesce. Diva Bomb going to be used far off in the back line. Not going to find anything as Snovis takes down Rezo. There's one pick from Goblin with the Coalesce. He's going to take down Dash. Going to try and get over to heal Kel, but it's not enough. And now Goblin, the last remaining member, he should be taken down. And finally, those ultimates paying off.
Finally, those ultimates paying off indeed, but if you'll notice, it took them 5 to win that fight. It took them all 5 of their ultimates, and Boise State still gets a full recontest with Graviton Surge and likely Death Blossom as well. Things are not looking well for Illinois Wesleyan right now.
They will have the Coalescence online, and that's about it. As you mentioned, 5 of them used, nothing above 49% for the Titan. Last fight territory here. They've got to cap the point to stay alive. Hack onto a large Bagel. Dash taken low. Rezo trying to get in the team. As Shigs is going to use the Coalescence in a nice Wraith Form away. He's very close to the Death Blossom. Grabs up as well. There's no defensive ult. There's the grab, and the Riptire going to come out. It's going to take down 2. Death Blossom still being held onto. Now he throws it down. What better time? Nice defense matrix sees some of the damage by Kodak. Unfortunately, it's not going to matter. He's taken out of the mech. Chig's the last one alive. He's not going to get there. But the Broncos going to take their second map.
Broncos are doing an absolutely amazing job, and that second map was very well earned indeed. There is always something to be said about the skill of players when they hold somebody inside spawn.
Boise State versus Illinois Wesleyan here in the NECC. As we talked about, it is a summation of the 3 maps. It is not a best of, so we are going to escort regardless of what is the score. As we see there, it is currently Boise State taking on the Callum Fletchers. He's the director for Illinois Wesleyan there, and he is he's a very scary dude. He can easily play 6 different accounts by himself, I'm thinking.
I absolutely believe he's got... My question, okay, so you have a hand for each, and then you have a foot for each.
Yep.
How do you play the next 2 accounts?
That's a good question. I mean, you can maybe use your nose. As we see here, who would win, Callum Fletcher or Roadhog? Definitely Callum Fletcher. I think he would literally be immune to the hook.
I absolutely... No.
The hook would take it, he would hook Roadhog in.
The hook is just his engage on the Roadhog.
Exactly.
Once he gets into melee range with that Roadhog is now bacon. That's all he is. And hopefully, he's got an amazing just stomach tattoo as well. Maybe just going up in the chest area just to flex on that Roadhog.
Yeah, I would think when Roadhog pulls him in, Roadhog would go in himself. The imposter or Callum Fletcher? Callum Fletcher gets task victories just by hitting the button.
But he is the imposter.
No,
bold of you to assume that he's not.
Dude, I didn't see him vent. I didn't see him vent.
Fletcher sus.
He was at electrical.
I didn't
was
see
at
him
weapons.
scan.
Ooh, that's a tough one now. He who should not be named versus Callum Fletcher.
I don't know what you're talking about. That man's in an electrical circuit. He poses no threat to Fletcher whatsoever. I mean, all he's got is a plug-in nose. That's all he's got going for him there.
I don't see a scar on Callum Fletcher, so I mean, clearly he,
Clearly he wins the fight.
Exactly. Harry Potter had to have a scar to survive. Callum Fletcher, he's like,
it's true.
What? I don't need that.
I don't lose in a fight to get scarred.
No. But, huge shout out to Callum Fletcher, as we mentioned, the director of Illinois Wesleyan. And I'm sure he is a huge reason why the Titans, they are 2-0 right now. Boise State's going to hand them their first loss regardless, but maybe they could take a map off Boise State, something very few teams have done as we go to Escort, because there's been some bright moments. I mean, as you talked about, there's been some panic sound barriers from a large bagel that could be capitalized by Illinois Wesleyan.
Yes, if Illinois Wesleyan wants to win, and they've actually done an amazing job of taking advantage of the fact that a large bagel is reflexively using sound barriers, because if you'll notice, they win the very next fight every single time with whatever ultimate. Once that sound barrier is misused, Illinois Wesleyan is on it, and they are doing an absolutely amazing job of that. It's just the fact that Boise State is so aggressively and so dominantly holding them that they have plenty of space to lose a fight.
See here, we do see the Wrecking Ball picked by Guac, so Wrecking Ball Diva, plus we do see it is going to be the Zenyatta for a large bagel, so he might have some reflective transcendence this time. We do see the double sniper for Illinois Wesleyan, so we can see how they pull that one off. This Goblin is taken low. Guac is right behind all of them. He's going to try and knock him off the high ground, does knock off 2 of them, and Kixie and Chicks immediately fall. Plato's going to get one more onto Snowbus, and Guac really set up that play for Boise State as they wrap up the pieces.
Guac absolutely did. The goal of this comp for Boise State, it is something that we run a lot, and the point is to counter meta comps from what we're expecting a general team to run. The point of running the ball is usually to counter something that they're doing. And the ball's goal is to just kind of stall and distract and boop off while we wait for our DPS to get a pick. And when you have DPS like Boise State does, I mean Plato, I mean Rezo, I mean Goblin, who is on support, but still. When you have the amazing DPS that Boise State does, you really don't have to wait very long for them to get value and kills. And so that's why Boise State runs this comp.
See right now, Guac's in a solo down the Chigs. Unfortunately, Kixie, who switched over to the Ash after that first elimination, is doing work away from Guac. Z picks up a 3K himself. Flash Metal going to punch down a large bagel. For all Guac's work, he's going to have to go rolling back this ball.
Guac is going to go ahead and zoom as balls do away from the lost fight and dead teammates.
Nice little late pick from Dash, by the way, onto Kel, so the Broncos are going to be staggered just a bit here, but they are very, very close to this first checkpoint. We do see Rezo has on the Hanzo, so there's no more snipers for Illinois Wesleyan. There's still a pair for Boise State. Guac trying it again, can't quite get the knockoff. He's won. He does have the minefield available. He's going to drop it on top of the roof. That would be my expectation. CC does get taken down by a large bagel. Chick's going to get the Orbs of Discord, and he is once again being soloed out by Guac. We see a Rez going to come out onto Ash. Plato's going to get Snowbus they can pay for it. Diva Bomb takes down Chigs as Rezo takes down Dash, Flash, Fatal, and Kixie falls well. And this should be a team kill for Boise State as Codex forced out of the mech. Or the Broncos might want to play with their food for the stagger. Nope, they won't get it, but the respawns come out to prevent it.
Why stagger when you can cap point, say, the Broncos? And now we're setting up for high ground control and to get some cheeky, probably damage and some picks onto that poor Zenyatta. That poor Zenyatta against Squaw's call.
Oh, man. Chigs is not having any fun. At all.
Chigs is absolutely.
Oh, no!
Ooh, there it is.
Oh.
Now Boise State is only being limited by how slowly the cart moves currently. Because in any other fight, killing both of your supports like that would have guaranteed you a point cap. However, the cart.
The cart's like, nah, just chilling. We do see Pulse Bomb, Valkyrie up for Illinois Wesleyan. Dragon Strike, Minefield right on cue. Bob's still available. Plato doesn't need it. Now he calls it into the fight after Chick has gone down. Casey gonna fall as well. Pulse Bomb has been used, but it's eaten up by Kel. Minefield takes down one Flash Fatal, who did pop the Primal Rage, was able to get Plato, but that is about it. And I was waiting for Chick to swap over the Moira just so he's able to dash away from Guac.
Oh no, that would, oh man. Yes, absolutely. Guac's ball has been an absolute menace to Zenyatta. I mean, as it should be. When you have a ball on the enemy team and you're a Zenyatta, you should feel just a touch scared, to be completely honest, and Guac is more than delivering on that. With mines outside of the recontest door.
See a 5-man swap from Illinois and Wesleyan, but they're going to contest one more time on the point. Diva Bomb from Kodak's going to be used, and it's going to pick up Plato. Kel able to get Kodak before he remechs, so it's a 1-for-1. Flash Fail taken low with the Orb of Discord. Kel on him, unfortunately not able to get him down, but it's going to be Rezo who picks up the kill. Chick is the next target. He's dropping incredibly low. Galva's going to pop the Valkyrie there, trying to help sustain Boise State as Rezo picks up 2. Large Bagel sitting on the Transcendence. He's not even going to use it. Rezo getting his 4th kill of the engage. Kel taken out of the mech by Keeksy, but I think Keeksy might actually win this fight.
Oh, get him!
Away! Unfortunately, Large Bagel takes it from him, but Boise State with a nice clean win.
Boise State with an absolutely nice clean win. Did you see the baby Diva with absolutely no fear walking into that Reaper that wouldn't even look at him?
Bring him on. Kel right now trying to find just a target to take down the remech. As we see Guac able to take down Dash doing his backline thing. We see once again a swap onto the Orisa for Illinois Wesleyan. Now they're going to swap onto the Torbjorn, so they're not even going to get any of the ults they swapped onto before giving up on those characters.
Absolutely, and as we see Kel go back to just push the payload just a little bit faster for around that corner there, so Boise State snipers can get value, and so Guac can get in position to go in.
Good news for Illinois Wesleyan. Snow has played that Baptiste very well on King's Row on the final hold. We see a minefield drop there. Immortality Field comes out. Kel's immediately going to take it down. Large Bagel has a Transcendent. Diva Bomb used by Kel right on cue. Going to throw it in on the back line. Picks up 2 with no Immortality Field available. Chick's going to try and throw down the Transcendent. It's going to help stabilize Keeksy just a tad bit, but the payload is still pushing towards the final point. Kodak gets the Orb of Discord. Swap over to Tracer from Dash. As we see Flash Bagel and Kodak's incredibly low. Transcendence is used by a Large Bagel mainly to get away from Dash, who is up in his face. We see the Immortality Field and Flash Fatal both be taken out there. Chick's going to be the next target. As Plato's got a 2K here. We see a nice retreat by Boise State, making Dash work for it. A Large Bagel with a couple of headshots there. They're going to take down Kodak, Snowbeck, and Keeksy. Dash the last one remaining. He will fall. Wrecking Ball came out from Flash Fatal, plus a window from Illinois Wesleyan, trying to sustain on the point. I don't think it's going to matter. Unfortunately, the respawn just enough. Finally, they push it on. And Boise State, almost the same as King's Row, 2:21 left on the clock this time.
Yes, absolutely. And however, this time King's Row, Illinois Wesleyan had an absolutely amazing hold on the side of King's Row. However, this time I would say that the limitation was mainly how slow the cart was being pushed by just a solo Large Bagel on the cart. However, I think player of the game should go to a Large Bagel just solely for the amount of time he sat on that cart, because you can't win games if you don't push the cart. No matter how close to their spawn you hold them.
It's got that gold objective time on lock. I will say, Keeksy had a nice little play on Ash on first point that slowed down Boise State a little bit. So there were some bright spots for the Titans here, but they play a lot of copycat. I would be curious to see if they're going to pull out the Boise State cop of the Wrecking Ball Diva, and it doesn't look like that's going to be the Titans plan.
I don't think so, because Wrecking Ball Diva is a comp that you... So if you, like, switch to Rhymes Aria, you know generally what your roles are. But because this is a relatively, like, Boise State comp that we got from our coach, it is something that, like, most people don't necessarily know how to play, and it's not easy enough that you can just watch it once and then pick up on it. They're going for very specific goals, and those goals are kind of hard to identify unless you're in the know and if you've heard about it.
Looks like it's going to be the Wrecking Ball Sigma for Boise State, something we've seen from time to time in Illinois Wesleyan. We got a whole mix of things right now. Looks like they're going to swap over to the Tracer. No, Widowmaker. Dash hasn't quite made up his mind quite yet what he wants to play.
Not quite yet, and I mean, he has a good little bit to figure it out. However, very brave to play Widowmaker against Guac's ball.
Looks like he finally gave up on it. He's back on the Tracer this time. Guac No high ground for him to knock off Illinois Wesleyan this time. Keeksy's already retreated back to spawn. He's going to pull out the Ash. So Illinois Wesleyan, the DPS still can't quite make up their mind, and they're going to be a little bit behind on ult percentage. We see Plato already up at 22%. Now we see a flank from Guac. Plato getting some damage. Unfortunately, missing that headshot. That would have been a nice little chunk there of damage and ult percentage. The cart push around. Couple more whiffs coming out for Plato, unfortunately, as he is our target. Now he's starting to find some hits. We see Kel and Rezo are low. Dash has been taken out. Bang, bang in the head. Plato hurt us, and he puts Keeksy in the grave, and now he's going to make Chiggins retreat around the corner as well.
Almost put Chigsy in the grave, too. If he had a Mercy bucket there, they would have been easy dead, but the Mercy had much more important things to deal with than sending an Ana only a couple meters outside of respawn back. Ooh, like that, sending the Diva back to respawn. It's always a pleasure to watch Boise State Mercy pistol whip somebody.
Can't quite hit the dynamite. We do see Sonic Arrows going to come out. They're going to shotgun up to the high ground, trying to find the headshots. Good job by Illinois Wesleyan. They are line-of-sighting these Boise State snipers and making them work for these hits.
Yes, absolutely, which is definitely what you need to do. However, at some point, somebody is going to make a positional mistake, and Boise State needs to be in position to take advantage of that.
Dragon Strike has been used by Rezo. Doesn't look like it's going to get more than a little bit of chunk damage onto the members of Illinois Wesleyan as they try and push around the corner now. Bob is close. Minefield Valkyrie alive. There's going to the Nano. It's going to come out onto Flash Fatal. Valkyrie committed by Snowbish there. Goblin's going to answer with his own. And Flash Fatal goes down before he can Primal Rage with the Nano. That's huge for Boise State. He does get rezzed by Snowbish, and Kel's going to make Snowbish pay. Flash Fatal, bang one in the head from Plato onto Keeksy. Another res going to come out onto a large bagel, and the Nano Primal Rage was the goal for Illinois Wesleyan, but you can't Primal Rage when you die.
You absolutely cannot Primal Rage when you die. However, most Winstons tend to get more tickle value with a Nano because then it's very, very scary. However, it would have been hard to stay alive in Boise State, even nanoed, if he just jumped in there. However, they are still holding on to that, but far more scarier than a Primal Rage is the Gravitic Flux that Kel is holding on to. Whew.
One on to Plato, nearly goes down. As him and Keeksy have had a nice little Ash battle here from time to time with the pocket mercies. He's going to get one right back, but with Snowbiss on him, not really going to matter unless he gets the one shot. Here's the re-engage from Illinois Wesleyan. They're holding on to a couple of ults. As you mentioned, the Gravitic Flux up for Boise State. Nice dash away from the Dynamite. His Dynamite of his own is going to pick up Chigs. Boise State now doesn't even need. There's the Gravitic Flux going to be used. Plato picks up another one. Kodak's running away. And we talked about the use of ults from time to time. D'Angelo. Illinois Wesleyan has been sometimes a little scared to use their ults.
Absolutely. I mean, you don't necessarily want to use ultimates when you're 2 down, but you also don't want to hold on to ultimates for the entire game. So it's really just, Boise State just really needs to be continuing to get those picks to make them unsure of when to use their ultimates or not.
Getting closer and closer to final fight territory. Illinois Wesleyan is going to have the Primal Rage, Pulse Bomb, Diva Bomb, Bob up very soon. It's just a Transcendence up for a large bagel with a Minefield and a Dragon Strike coming online. Here comes Bob from Keeksy. Minefield going to be dropped as well. Orbit Discord going to be going on to Dash, and we're going to see a Diva Bomb come out from Kodak just to reset the health. Can Plato take him down? Yes, he can before he remexed. Walk takes down Keeksy. Valkyrie and Primal Rage used. Plato gets slept with an Angry Monkey. Then a Dragon Strike from Rezo is going to come out and take down Chig. So Boise State's still sitting up 1. Nice res onto Kodak, who barely is able to remech. Flash Fatal's taken low, and he will finally go down. Large Bagel this whole time has been holding on to this Transcendence, waiting for the perfect moment. Nice res onto Res. Look at the Broncos back at full strength. We take down into overtime. Guac picks up a pair. This is the last-ditch moment for Illinois Wesleyan. They're down 2. Kodak's low in the mech, but Guac gets slept. Gravitic Flux is going to be used on the payload there. Looks like it's going to hit a couple as they go slamming down. It's the tank line for Illinois Wesleyan taking it low. This time we're going to see the Nano going to go out to Codex, who just barely survived and is able to take down Plato. We do see Dash back on the Sombra now. Nice hack onto Kel. Second Minefield this fight has come out for Guac as he picks a pick onto Chig. And a nice res onto Plato to keep the Broncos at relatively full strength as Codex taken out of the mech. Illinois Wesleyan putting up quite the fight here. Keeksy on the Soldier, getting close to the Tactical Visor, but as I say that, he will be taken down. Snowbish and Flash Fatal going to join him. And unfortunately for them, Dash couldn't get on the point, and Boise State going to wrap up that 3-0.
Absolutely amazing on the side of Boise State, 3-0. I mean, it's always a good day to be a Boise State fan, but it is an amazing day to be a Boise State fan when you see your Broncos play like that and pull off a 3-0 victory against a very worthy opponent. We saw them take advantage of lots of the mistakes that Boise State made. However, there weren't very many.
Yeah, they did what they could. There's definitely a reason Illinois Wesleyan was 2-0 going into this match, but unfortunately they're going to suffer their first loss, and Boise State Blue remains undefeated. Now, I know you said you were going to give a large bagel your Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game for his cart time. I'll let you re-pick it, simply D'Angelo, because I don't think he's going to be the actual winner of the ICCU player of the game.
That's true. I would like to say maybe Plato or Guac. I know that's two people. That's only a third of the team. That's not a half of the team.
That's true.
Listen, it's not as many as it could have been. Because really there are plays that every single member of Boise State made that would make them player of the game worthy. However, I think the most consistent plays that were being made were by Plato on numerous DPS and then Guac. I mean, we always expect Guac to play well, but his ball play has significantly improved. Even from the last time that we watched him on the stream, Guac has just gotten so much better at ball and so much better as a player. And even though that's off-screen and off-stream, I do believe that that would be something consistent worthy of being player of the game if it's not going to go to Plato.
We do get our crucial poll in the chat of who is your ICCU player of the game. Unfortunately, unless you have multiple accounts, you're only allowed to pick one person, unlike D'Angelo, who named a third of the team.
Listen, that's better than a half. I'm getting better.
You are improving.
I'm getting better. It's two people when it could have been three people, Fish.
At least you didn't name both DPS. Both DPS would be cheating.
That's true.
Actually, one of the guys doing
with
damage.
the tanks lineup that Boise State has, tank lineups have actually won player of the game.
That's true.
More than DPS this year. We've had Icy get it twice in a row. We've had Quidgeable get it a great number of times. We haven't had Guac get it several times in a row yet because most of the time it's been going to Plato, at least here on blue team. But
Plato
still,
and Goblin, I think, have dominated on blue team.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
All right, here we go. We'll see if it is going to be Plato or Guac, as D'Angelo predicted, or maybe even a large bagel for his cart time. And you're wrong. It's Kel.
Wow.
You're close.
Right,
it is a tank. It's still a tank.
It's still a tank. Boise State tanks. Our tank lineup is absolutely amazing. They are always worthy of player of the game. And I mean, there are a good number of players from Boise State that are worth that. But it usually goes to the tanks.
Yeah, all 6 players could be worthy of getting player of the game. But it's, I will say, I'll defend production a little bit. It usually has to go to the person who makes the most highlight-worthy plays.
This is true. Most highlight-worthy plays, absolutely.
You cannot clip someone sitting on an objective and have a good replay. It would be very, very boring. It's why no one does it in my comp games. They never sit on. I got to get player of the game. Not the ICCU player of the game, but the Overwatch player of the game. I don't get that sitting on the card.
You don't get that sitting. But wouldn't it be amazing if you did? Wouldn't it be amazing?
The game would be so much better. The game would be playable.
Clips of just Zenyatta doing his little snow tranquility thing on the cart indefinitely.
Charging
just
the ball.
Clips of nothing.
Charging the orbs, kick. It's not going to be the case today, though. A huge congratulations to Kel, who is our Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game. ICCU, who believes a great player makes a team more successful, just like they're helping their members achieve financial success. It's another Bronco tank that gets it, and it's Kel, who's your ICCU player of the game for their 3-0 victory over Illinois Wesleyan here in the NECC to keep blue team undefeated. And they did have to work for it, though. They definitely had to work for it.
They did have to work for it. The mistakes that they made were, in fact, capitalized on. And it almost cost them. It cost them several important fights, but it did not, unfortunately for Illinois Wesleyan, it did not cost them a map.
I was looking at that replay, and I saw that when it was live. I was like, did Snowbiz just window himself? I'm doing some big Baptiste damage. Better watch out. Very interesting amplification matrix placement from him. But I digress. We're Bronco fans, so we are definitely happy with that.
This is true.
Now, there is only one problem with our next game in the NECC. Boise State's going to lose. I can tell you that with a certainty beyond all certainties because, as we had in NACE, they're both in the same group. It is Boise State versus Boise State. So somebody's got to win. Somebody's got to lose. They have already played blue 3-0'd orange in NACE, so orange with a little bit to prove here as we head into our next matchup between Boise State and Boise State.
Yes. That is a very glass half empty view, however, Fish, because Boise State is also guaranteed to win.
That's true. That is true. Now, it is more pressure on blue because orange has already lost. They lost the game to Midland, who has been one of the tougher opponents Boise State has seen. So Blue wants to remain undefeated, but we will come up with Boise State versus Boise State after our short break, so don't go anywhere. Boise State's going to win, as D'Angelo mentioned. Boise State's going to lose, as I mentioned. Find out if it's blue or orange on that side next after this break. Overwatch, and hopefully it's just bang, 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 Bronco win, and we're done.
Absolutely, and I mean, for the second match, either way, it's going to be
Plato very close to that EMP. See the pulse bomb up. It's going to be a 4-man EMP. Chigs and Flash Plato immediately go down. Pulse bomb from Kixie not going to land onto anything. Nice hack going to land on the Snovus, who has the Valkyrie available. He might be able to get away. He will not. We do see Dash is now trans over to the Sombra, so he definitely wants to get some of the EMPs of his own.
Oh, yeah.
Codex to be taken out of the mech. A nice hack from Plato is what sets that one up. Baby Diva's still alive as Flash Fatal gets taken down on the backline, and Guac is swinging the hammer. Plato's going to pick up another one. Goblin gets Kixie, and this should be an easy payload. Nice knife there by Guac on the dash, and that's an easy payload win for the Broncos.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And Plato enabled all of that with his initial.
The Dynamite, his Dynamite of his own is going to pick up Chig. Boise State now doesn't even need. There's the Gravitic Flux going to be used. Plato picks up another one. Codex running away. And we talked about the use of ults from time to time. D'Angelo. Illinois Wesleyan has been sometimes a little scared to use their ults.
Absolutely. I mean, you don't necessarily want to use ultimates when you're 2 down, but you also don't.
Going to get the Orbs of Discord, and he is once again being soloed out by Guap. We see a Rez going to come out onto Ash. Plato's going to get Snow, but they can pay for it. Diva Bomb takes down Chig. Rez takes down Dash, Flash, Fatal, TC Paul as well. And this should be a team kill for Boise State as Codex forced out of the mech. Or the Broncos might want to play with their food for the stagger. Nope, they won't get it, but the respawns come out to prevent the
wise stagger.
That and have another grab we'll have to see. As you mentioned, it's the sound barrier up for Illinois Wesleyan. It's the Shatter EMP combo. There it is. There's the 4-man EMP. There's the Shatter as well. Going to land on 2-3. Snowbus didn't even... Welcome back into the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. As we mentioned before those top 5 plays, it is going to be Boise State Orange taking on Boise State Blue here in the NECC. Blue has yet to lose a game, only dropping 1 map. Orange has lost, I believe, 1 game that we've seen, dropping it to Midland. So it is going to be a close little battle there as we see our festive themes around the arena. Fish and D'Angelo here to call our second Overwatch game of the night. Nice little Star Wars figure guarding there. The answer would be no if there is any questions, but Boise State, they're going to be, the question is going to be, can Orange get revenge on Blue?
Can Orange get revenge on Blue? Maybe not necessarily on Blue as a whole, but I do believe that some amount of vengeance can be had on a large bagel, especially if he continues to reactionarily use ultimates the way that he has been doing. And I'm not trying to target a large bagel at all, because he also gets some huge, amazing picks. So it's really... He brings a lot of good to the table as well, but his ultimate usage, at least tonight, has been somewhat lacking. And if any team is team-oriented and ult-wary enough to take advantage of that, it is going to be Boise State Orange. And we did see Illinois Wesleyan do a little bit of it as well. There just weren't many mistakes that a large bagel was making that they were able to capitalize on. But rest assured that Orange will be the team that does capitalize on them, just like Illinois Wesleyan.
Yes, we see the breakdown here of the NECC, 17 schools, round robin. The records will seed the playoffs, and Boise State Blue, the best record in the tournament. I know Becker College is a close second. I know Boise State Orange is also up there as well with their only loss to Midland. So we'll be curious to see if the Orange team could knock Boise State Blue down. They would both have 1 loss here. That will be coming up momentarily. I will say, though, I mean, as you talked about it here, as we take a look, unfortunately, those are still the Rocket League standings from last night, so I don't want to get any confusion there, because Orange is definitely not sitting at 1-4. They are much better than that. I think they're at 4-1 right now. If you're a Lucio player, you have a Lucio player who's a friend D'Angelo, those ults from a large bagel 99% of the time were the right play. They were reactionary plays to what he thought was a team fight. It's just unfortunate that one of them was a panic EMP, and the other one, his team just ate a Diva Bomb.
Yes, they're reactionary. Reactions are reactions for a reason. When you hear the EMP, you just reactionary. But to cross the threshold from being a good player to an absolutely amazing, unstoppable player, you can't do things reactionarily, especially something as big as a sound barrier. There are definitely a lot of plays in Overwatch that need to be reactionary because you don't have time to think about it. But on both, not necessarily the bomb fight, but on the fight on King's Row, he did have ample time. That was clearly a lost fight, and that Boise State had already clearly won the fight with the EMP. It shouldn't have been reactionary. There was definitely plenty of time to think, I have no reason to use this. I really have no reason to use it. And then it just further bit him in the butt with the very next fight. A sound barrier would have made a huge difference. With the Diva Bomb, that's just because the ultimate combo wasn't the ultimate combo that a large bagel was expecting. If they had came in with the Death Blossom, the Death Blossom wouldn't have been able to melt it with the success that the Diva Bomb did. If you want to beat a Diva Bomb, you have to be very, very careful about it.
We kick things off here between blue and orange. Beanie Bump taken incredibly low right off the start. He is going to be able to stabilize as we see Blue State Blue with the double aerial comp of the Echo and the Pharah there. Goblin playing a good job on that Pharah, who continuously making teams very upset about it. I will say, I don't know who Asu pockets here. Beanie Bump gets the first elimination onto Quack and knock him right off the edge. And at the point unlocked, essentially Blue starting out here just down a member. Now, they do see Quack respawning. Kel taken low as well. Quidgeable trying to hide around the corner. Plato has been antied. He's dropping low, but there's no eliminations to speak of right now. And finally, another one onto a large bagel. So the second time Orange has lost one. Quidgeable thought he had the hook. He's going to pay for it as Goblin gets one. Plato picks up another one, but then he is immediately taken down. So the team's trading relatively even, as it looks like Boise State Orange potentially going to get the point now, but with Rezo going down, you have to think that's Blue who's going to be... You know, I'm going to be honest. This is nothing against the production or anything. The fact that Blue and Orange are on the wrong color is really throwing me off right now.
Absolutely.
I'm like,
I was just grateful that you were the one talking because I was absolutely going to be much worse about that.
Oh yeah, Boise State Blue on the orange color, Boise State Orange on the blue color. It is Boise State Blue who has unlocked it. Now they're going to get right in the face, but a nice stun. Plus fan the hammer onto Kel is going to take him out. We do see Rezo has the Deadeye available. He'd be better off just never clicking that Q button, as we do see Plato's going to copy that McCree, as he is going to take him down. Too many MP going to come out from Frost. That is going to cancel Plato's clone there. He has to use the Coalescence. Goblin going to be taken down by Pleb. So the fact that Orange is holding on. No! He wanted to hook somebody in. Unfortunately, all he did was take himself out. Nice res on the Goblin as 4 members of Boise State Orange have fallen. Rezo gets 1 to save the team kill, but the point is still growing. Boise State Blue's favor.
Absolutely. The point is growing in Boise State Blue's favor. And against a team like Boise State Blue, you really don't want to use as high value an ultimate as EMP when you're already down 1. If Boise State Orange wants to win this, they have to work better as a team because they're not going to individually outskill Boise State Blue.
They've got to rely on Rezo to get those hit scans on the 2 aerial ones, but a good job there by Kel, jumping onto a nice rock barrage by Goblin. He gets 2, Plato gets 1, he's going to make it 2 as well. Kel gets a 3rd. That's a team kill for Boise State Blue, and we're in last fight territory.
We are in last fight territory with Boise State Orange sitting on almost 5 ultimates, and Boise State Blue sitting on just a sound barrier. But a sound barrier will not save you against 5 ultimates, and even though it's usually unwise, I would say Boise State Orange wants to blow as many of those ultimates as they possibly can, trying to take this point back.
Up gets moved off the edge, which means that it's going to be a reset, and now it is truly last fight territory for Boise State Orange. Copy from Plato once again going to be used onto the McCree. Dropping low, but going to be able to stabilize. Minefield comes down from Guac, but he's going to eat the whole hog in the face. There's the Deadeye that comes out, picks up 1 onto Asu, but it's the whole hog that's doing work right now. Finally, a large bagel and Plato able to get 2 more before Rezo takes down Plato, and Boise State Orange going to flip the point.
And that cost them a normal amount of ultimates. It did not cost them every single ultimate they had, which is a testament to Boise State Orange skill and ultimate usage.
Done. Didn't quite kill. Now they're going to be able to finish him off. The fan the hammer just missed, as we see Beanie Bum here. Boise State Orange probably going to be able to allow Boise State Blue to just wait for a large bagel and that sound barrier to respawn.
Yes, absolutely. Boise State Orange is still in scary territory because any value Icy is going to get out of that Gravitic Flux, unless we land the EMP or the Lucio is dead first, is going to be negated by a sound barrier. So Boise State Orange really has to play careful.
Boise State Blue They nearly got that cap off. Beanie Bum, unfortunately, nearly gets moved in. A large bagel does knock down Quidgible. Goblin's going to be able to pick up one onto Pleb, but a nice scorbitic flux from Icy to flip the fight, takes down two. Rezo gets one more onto Goblin, and Kel retreating plus a large bagel means Boise State Orange going to survive that boop off from a main tank and be able to hold on to the point.
Oh,
nice
there
play.
it is. Beanie Bum did an absolutely amazing job on a large bagel there, hunting him down and killing him. And Boise State Orange is looking a little bit better now that they have the EMP Deadeye. Deadeye should be used to pick their aerials out of the sky, and then perhaps a ground EMP should be able to secure this next fight, but they really they have to do something about both of those aerial DPS, otherwise they're just going to get murdered.
Well, landing asleep onto one is a great start, and Anthony Platos needs to go back up in the air. How about taking down Goblin before he can... Oh, 5-man EMP lands. Rezo goes bang, bang, bang. Guac's able to pick up one onto Beanie Bum, but that is the only consolation the Boise State Blues going to get. They're going to respawn, and now the blue side is in last fight.
Yes, absolutely. And the orange side is... things are a little bit scary because Beanie is still 20% away, and their best ultimate chance, which was the Deadeye, is now down.
That's something that I would never ever say in my life, is that your best ultimate chance is the Deadeye. Pleb doing a nice job making up for the dead McCree. Looks like Plato out of the end. There's a sound barrier from a large bagel. Rocket Barrage used as well. Deadeye comes out from Rezo. Okay, I'm not really going to comment on that one at all as he tried to use it in the middle of the spawn. Boise State's going to take down two. Kel has gone down, and the res used on the Goblin. Whole hog committed from Quidgible, trying to take down the air DPS. He is going to fall. Beanie Bum didn't get in. He is able to get up on two-man sound barrier onto him and Frost. Rezo trying to hold on as we're in overtime here. Large Bagel takes down Rezo. Frost going to use the, or Plato, excuse me, going to use the EMP off the comp. He don't look like it landed onto anyone, but Goblin and Kel with that primal range are going to be able to pick up a pair. Goblin gets one more, and that is good. No! They C9'd it!
They did in fact C9 it! That is a fact. You saw it here, guys. Boise State Blues C9 to the point. Best to get it out now when they're against their younger brother team than against somebody else.
Oh my gosh.
However,
oh my
with
God.
the exception, Orange did an absolutely amazing job because Orange is far below Boise State Blue in terms of just normal SR and general mechanical skill. However, their team play has been absolutely phenomenal, especially that last fight. We saw Quidgible and Icy put in an amazing amount of work. Icy completely denying the Pharah ultimate. The blue team needed to win that fight as cleanly as they could have, and they've done an absolutely amazing job, and even Beanie Bum has risen to the challenge a large bagel has presented.
Plato's going to swap onto the Tracer, only change we see from our first map, and we'll see if Boise State Blue can force us on to a map 3, or if they'll drop their first map. Nice hook onto Asu, he barely survives though, just dodging the punch, and both teams are able to remain in full strength. Anti's going to go onto Guac, Kel gets the first elimination onto Pleb, Plato's going to get one more onto Rezo, which will now all caught alone, going to try and heal up, and just barely does survive. Unfortunately, the rest of his team is not. Nice hook onto a large bagel. Unfortunately, the pulse bomb does come out from Plato, and there are 3 members from Boise State Orange that are going down, and Blue will cap the point first.
Pulse bomb was probably not necessary, but I digress. A large bagel was a little bit of a consolation prize there as an elimination onto a lost fight, but he's been rezzed anyway. That was an absolutely phenomenal hook by Quidgible onto the Mercy that would have won them the fight if Kel hadn't defense matrixed Asu.
Asu's got the lone ultimate available in the game. He has the Valkyrie, nothing else too close. We're sitting around mid-70s, and there it is. Valkyrie immediately going to be popped, which gives Rezo another aerial target that he could potentially pick out of the sky. He's getting close to that Deadeye. Nano online for Pleb as well, but it looks like Orange is going to wait it out. There's the Nano going to go onto Quidgible there. Nice 2-man stun. Going to land onto Guac and a large bagel, but Rezo dropping incredibly low. He has to be careful. He'll roll away. He gets taken down by Plato. Kel taken out of the mech, but Goblin's going to be able to take down Beanie Bum, and Boise State Orange is down 2. There's a Death Blossom, going to pick up another one. That's 5 down. Can Icy get away? No, he cannot. Boise State Blue with a nice win.
No, he cannot. And Boise State Blue, even though they've been winning these past couple of fights, you would expect them to be in an ultimate disadvantage, but no, they've just been so cleanly winning this. They're still sitting at the ultimate advantage over Orange. However, the one saving grace that Orange has is Frost is very close to EMP, and they do have the potential to do some very impressive things, as we've seen out of Frost with the EMP.
Looks like there was a near BAP camp there from Boise State Orange. Couldn't quite tell who it was as the minefield was used as well as the pulse bomb. Did some damage, but nothing more. We see 4 ults up for Boise State Orange, getting closer to that EMP. Boise State Blue only has 2, but it is the sound barrier we're talking about. Verdict Flux going to kick things off. We're going to see a solo hack onto Guap, which isn't going to allow him to survive as Rezo takes him down, but Rezo's going to get taken down himself. Plato has been just an absolute nuisance for that McCree. Holehawk is going to come out as Pleb takes down Goblin. Kel dropping low and unfortunately going to be taken out of the mech. Rez is going to go out onto Goblin, though. Keep Boise State Blue at full strength. It was a nice back cap, by the way, by Orange to save them from overtime. Frost and Icy going to pick up a pair, and now Boise State Orange starting to pull away with the fight. A hack onto a large bagel as he gets booped off the edge. Means Boise State Orange not only going to get the back cap, they're going to stabilize.
Oh, Lucio on Lucio boop. That was an absolutely amazing job by Beanie Bum there. However, I do believe that at least part of it was a large bagel trying to clean reset. That's why he didn't cling to the wall after he
got
was
hacked.
booped off.
He actually got hacked.
Oh, absolutely amazing. But I guess it worked in his favor because he needed to get out anyway.
There's the rocket barrage from Goblin. Unfortunately, he's going to take himself out as well as Beanie Bum. There's a 3-man EMP, but a large bagel's going to use the sound barrier perfectly there. And Icy's going to be taken down. Valkyrie has been committed by Asu as well. Boise State Blue going to hit all of their Q abilities, and they are going to come very close here. Minefield used by Guak. Point still building. Beanie Bum tried to throw down the sound barrier, but he never hit the ground with his sound gun, so the shield never went off, and a point flip, and now it's overtime for Boise State Orange. They've got to try and contest. Icy getting body blocked off the point, so a little bit of redemption there for Boise State Blue.
Yes, a little bit of redemption for Boise State Blue there indeed. However, they did still first C9 the first map against Orange, and Orange, I do believe, did deserve to win that map because they were just playing so amazingly as a team. And I do believe that Orange has a shot at this if we can stop 2 things. 1, we need to stop getting picked before the fight because, again, you're not going to win the individual skill battle. You are not going to win a fight against Boise State Blue if you're down 1. You are just not. You need to be at full strength and you need to be together. And part of doing that is sticking together and waiting for them to make a mistake. We've identified several of them. We've seen Quidgeable get some absolutely amazing hooks on their supports. We just need to follow up on that, and Boise State Orange has a shot at this.
Shout out to the camera person for finding how high the skybox truly goes. I don't think anyone will ever get that high, as we do see a nice pick from Rezo onto Plato. So how about that, D'Angelo? How about they get the first pick for Boise State Orange? They're going to shove Boise State Blue back. Nice hack onto Guak as well. We are going to be turned on by Kel, who's very low, so he's going to have to be forced to run away. Beanie Bum is going to take down a large bagel. Guak gets one back, but Beanie Bum takes him down as well. Rezo is taking out Plato, has just been a thorn in his side on that McCree. Blue was very close to capping, but Orange is also going to be there. Looks like Orange is going to end up capping the first point. So good job by Orange to start things off as Beanie Bum's going to take down Kel in the mech. Plato has been hacked. The Goblin now on the Echo is able to get down Frost and Pleb, and he's going to help single-handedly flip that fight as they are now currently sitting up 2. He's going to copy onto the Diva as well. Just as Quidgeable does get taken out of the mech for Boise State Orange. We see a Goblin. There's the first EMP. He's going to drop it right on the point. He's able to pick up 1, and Plato's able to pick up another one. Plato gets his second, and now down 3. I think Boise State Orange making 4. Probably going to be forced to retreat as the point flips.
Forced to retreat indeed, and Rezo did an amazing job there getting the pick on Plato firsthand. And Rezo, if they want to continue to get percentage on the point like that, he needs to save his stun for when Plato engages on him. Otherwise, Plato's going to kill him every single time, like we saw. How do you kill a Tracer? You stun her, and then you headshot her. And that is what Rezo needs to do. He needs to save his stun specifically for Plato, even though it's tempting to use it on the ball.
There's Pulse Bomb come out, it's going to miss. Valkyrie has been used as well as the Deadeye, and the Deadeye finds absolutely nothing. Might have been used just to reload. As we see Rezo got down the mech. Kel, Guak, Goblin, Plato all going to go bang, bang, bang onto Orange. Icy and Quidgeable going to be falling as well, and Boise State Blue winning that fight decisively.
Yes, Quidgeable maybe should have saved that bomb for next fight to combo with the EMP, but we do still have other combos that exist.
I think he saves the bomb.
Just the no.
Quidgeable has the bomb.
No, he doesn't. He has his remake.
Oh, he has his remake.
Yes.
What a confusion. Are we sure?
I'm pretty sure, because I just saw him use it. So if he still has it, then I will be surprised. But either way, EMP is still their win condition, regardless of whether or not that bomb actually exists.
See a hack onto Goblin. There's a two-man EMP. Goblin's going to hoppy onto the Winston there as Rezo's going to take down Plato. Quidgible looks to be holding on to the bomb, it appears, as he takes down all of those mines. As we do see BD Bum and Goblin going to trade elimination for elimination as he almost takes down Asu. Rezo's able to get him. BD Bum picks up another one, but Pleb and BD Bum have fallen, so Boise State Orange is now out of support. We do see the Diva Bomb was used by somebody there, it looks like. Kel has been hacked. He is not going to be able to remax. There's Quidgible's bomb going to be used. Doesn't look like he picked up anything as a pulse bomb and Goblin going to wrap up things for Boise State Blue.
We are seeing a bit of resistance from Boise State Orange, more than we've seen from some team in the past. But as their undefeated record dictates, Boise State Blue has taken that map.
Well, so it is going to be another map win for Boise State Blue. Boise State Orange going to drop their, I think, only 5th map overall, and they've been doing very well, as we've talked about. Their only loss right now is to Midland, but it does not look like it is going to be a win for them, but they never know what can happen onto Hybrid. But speaking of that, with 2 Boise State teams going at it, if you want that to be you one day, Boise State Esports is always looking for talented players, production, and broadcasters. Top talent, along with good grades and eligibility, can earn you scholarships as well. Sign up today by visiting boisestate.edu/esports for more information. And now, D'Angelo, here comes the time. Can you talk Boise State Orange out of picking Kings Row?
Can I talk Boise State Orange out of picking Kings Row? Let me see if I can just telepathically communicate to Icy and Beanie Bum in their homes. Do not pick Kings Row. Let's see if my message will get to them through the universe into their. I don't think Kings Row would be a good pick for them, and so I sincerely hope that they do not pick it, because Kings Row, more often than not, ends up being a Rhine v. Rhine. Boise State teams tend to pick that. It ends up being a Rhine versus Rhine. And while Icy is an amazing player and has risen to the challenge against top 500 Winstons in the past, I do not think that anybody on Boise State Orange is going to be able to individually outskill anybody on Boise State Blue, and so I do believe that Kings Row wouldn't necessarily be good for them.
What would you suggest?
There's always some interesting holds on Numbani, but if you run Numbani, you do run the risk of them running that aerial comp again, which we actually did do decent against it by way of the hooks and the McCree sites. However, the angles are going to be harder to do that on Numbani, especially on not just first point, but on later points. So I think, and you would also run into the same problem on first point Dorado, but I do actually think that Dorado is probably their best bet, because Dorado, as it is Sombra's hometown, is also just an amazing map for her in general, but it looks like it is none of those.
Well, it could still be Dorado next map, because Dorado's escort.
Yes, that's true. You are absolutely right.
So you might be predicting the future, D'Angelo. We'll see if you're right on that one. So it's a Dorado escort pick. So you see there, it's Control Hybrid Escort, so it's Eichenwald. And this is a map that I know we've talked about a lot of times, where Farah can be very strong because she basically has any angle she wants until third point. But Goblin's not going to run. He's going to take the Echo, which I'm not going to call a bargain Farah, but not as much AoE damage, but still
she's a bargain anything with her ultimate.
That is true. Narble's on the Ash, so they're going to have some assistance this time for Rezo for those aerial picks.
Absolutely.
Plato's on the Ash as well, so he's not going to be able to get in the face of Rezo and make his life absolutely impossible, like we saw last one. Nice hook on to Guac, and he's able to just roll away, sustain some damage, and reset for Boise State Blue, sitting up one map in this NECC showdown between Boise State Blue and Orange. Nice sleep, but it gets broken wide away, and Guac's going to make him pay with the pick on to Quidgible. He's going to go charging right back in, and now his target is going to be Pleb, who's not going to make it away. Asu's going to get a res on the Plato, who was picked off by Narbles, but Rezo doing a great job getting another pick onto a large bagel. Icy's going to take down Kel out of his mech, and Boise State Blue is sustaining some casualties, but they should be able to survive as Rezo and Beanie Bum do go down, and Kel's able to rematch.
Yes, Boise State Orange is falling into a very fatal trap, Fish. Can you guess what it is?
Is it dying?
Yes, Fish.
Yes, I knew it.
Fish, it's dying. But while they are dying, they're running a lot of stunts. Clearly, Guac's ball is significantly bothering them. However, the whole point of Guac's ball is to bait out those cooldowns, bait out that hook, bait out that flashbang, so that those members are easy pickings. Because as you can see, most stuns, you have to chain stuns if you want to kill a ball. And even then, even if you chain stuns, most of the time you're not going to be able to kill the ball. So Guac is just purely bait, and they are putting way too much attention on him. Their comp is based on him. They're using all of their stuns on him. We've seen some amazing hook values on things like the Mercy, but every time anybody stuns the ball, it doesn't work out for them, and it leaves Rezo, it left Rezo open to getting picked by the Tracer on Ilios, because if he doesn't have his stun, he's just another hit scan that Tracer can bully. And Boise State Orange, they're falling into the exact trap that Guac wants them to fall into.
We're going to see Valkyrie, Bobs, and a copy. Goblin's copy immediately gets taken down. The Nano has gone out onto Quidgible, but Narbles is going to, Bob is going to be the first target down. We see the Valkyrie pop by Beanie Bum as well, as Kel's not going to pick up Quidgible, as he never committed the whole hog. Rezo is able to take out Goblin, but we do see Icy dropping very low. Can't quite get away from Guac and Kel either, so there's going to be a couple of casualties. Guac's going to now jump up onto that high ground, gets TNT, does have the minefield, but he's going to have to be forced to roll away there. Now that he can heal, he's going to be chased down there by Mustard McCree himself. Nice little suit there for Rezo, and he's going to be able to pick up a large bagel. Another High Noon's going to come out, and he's going to immediately take for it as Plato picks him right back down. It's no longer High Noon as Goblin gets another one, and Boise State Blue just methodically pushing the payload.
Methodically pushing the payload as Guac goes in there to do more of exactly what he is supposed to do, which is get out cooldowns from the side of Boise State Orange and get health bars as low as he possibly can before rolling out.
Got the minefield as well. Quidgible popped the whole hog as he went down, so it's a huge ult wasted for Boise State Orange. He's gotten a couple eliminations on Ilios with that whole hog, especially on map 1 where they won. As we do see Icy does have the Gravitic Flux, turns the Orbital Discord on him. Nice res on the Guac, we're getting back to full strength. Hell, gonna be able to drop the Diva Bomb just to reset health, and then maybe Diva Bomb is able to take down Beanie Bum as the Valkyrie's been committed by Asu, and the point is very close for Boise State Blue to get the second checkpoint here. Looks like they're going to be able to get it.
Yes, they are indeed, and Boise State Orange is just continuing to fall into that same trap. It took them 2 hooks and a flashbang to kill the ball once. And they didn't even win the fight after killing the ball. They lost the fight because the rest of his team came to back him up, so just a second too late. They really need to stop giving as much attention as they are to Guac, because that's the whole point of him being ball. That's exactly what he wants them to do. And if you play into Guac's hands, you're going to lose. That is his skill as a strategist for Boise State.
Guac's going to be dropped by Icy, who has been nanoed by Pleb. He's unable to find anything, but the Deadeye gets one, and Quidgible gets another one here. As we see some resistance from Boise State Orange. They will lose Rezo in the process, and Boise State's going to get that res off onto him, and that's going to be one of the first fights we've lost. We've seen some Boise State Blue when the Widowmaker comes down.
Yes, absolutely. And Boise State Orange is sitting in a relatively decent position to hold because they don't... Yes, because you don't see... There aren't many ultimates that can shut them down now, just individual picks like that.
Yeah, 2 in the head from Goblin is going to shut down Rezo and Quidgible. We see the Valkyrie committed by Ace, who is a large bagel, able to take down Icy. Rezo's now going to bring out his own Widowmaker. Good luck to him to see if he can shut down Goblin. The answer is immediately no, by the way, as he comes out to spawn and gets headshot. Going to see a double ante under the tank line for Boise State Blue. Minefield has been dropped. Now Bob's going to be called in here for Plato. Beanie Bum's going to try and use the Valkyrie, but it's not going to be enough, as Boise State Blue is going to go all the way here, and there's 3 minutes on the clock for them.
There is 3 minutes on the clock, which is a lot worse than it could be. There have been times where Boise State has taken it to 5 minutes on that last point there. And the main thing Boise State Orange is losing to, more than ultimates or anything, I've already mentioned the individual play that is strong on the side of Boise State Blue, but more than anything, they're playing into Guac's hands. They are doing exactly what Guac wants them to do. I mean, it's probably not fun to get infinitely hooked, but he's lived through all of it. Yeah, and they're not getting value on using those abilities that we've seen can get more value on other targets other than Guac. And that is Guac's primary, that is what Guac brings to Boise State, is his strategy. And so when you play into his strategy's hands like that, you're just going to lose. If you do exactly what Guac wants you to do, you're just going to lose.
There, once again, the full aerial squad from Boise State Blue, Farah, Echo, and the Mercy. Rezo for now has given up the McCree to the Genji, but I'm going to assume that's not going to last very long as soon as he sees Boise State Blue's column.
Yes, I do agree with you there. I am surprised that we're not pulling out the soldier, but I think that's just a further testament to the fact that we are extremely annoyed with block spawn. Because the only reason you would pick McCree over soldier is for his stun.
Attackers incoming.
Well, Rezo still on the Genji for now. I'll be curious to see how fast he swaps. This Quidgible is taken low. Rezo staying on it. He immediately gets taken down. And right now it's Boise State Orange down a member. There is some damage and a nice sleep onto Asu for Boise State Blue, but they have been able to sustain it. And it looks like, there it is. There's a bump over to McCree for Rezo. He gave it one try, but he's like, hey, I need that hit scan.
He gave it a good shot and then realized that he was not going to be able to get any work done against half of their team up in the air.
You see it is the Sigma Wrecking Ball core for Boise State Blue that we talked about a little bit tonight. It is the Sigma Roadhog on the side of Boise State Orange, who hasn't swapped their cops around too much. As Rezo, just like that, going to be able to get 2 picks, both of them onto the aerial members for Boise State Blue. We do see a res come out from both Asu and Beanie Bump, but Glock's going to be able to punch down Pleb in the process. So both teams currently sitting down just one. Goblin has to be careful. He's found out in the sky, nearly takes down Rezo, but he's going to be able to retreat under that bridge in line of sight the far.
Yes, Boise State Orange is walking into a great deal of spam. A Moira would almost benefit them for her brute healing, but also spam isn't helpful for her resource, so Boise State Orange is doing a good job on that Ana.
Rocket Barrage is online. Nice hook going to come out. There's the Rocket Barrage that's going to be used, and Rezo's going to do a great job finding out Goblin, who can't move during the ult. Guac gets one back, plus drops down the minefield. It's going to buy space for Asu to get the res. Plato and Guac going to start wrapping things up. Goblin taken immediately. No, nice camping that res by Narbles, but unfortunately for the rest of his team, they're going to have to retreat.
Yes, and the Pharah will probably be back for their next full regroup. However, the amount of ultimates Boise State Orange is sitting on, normally it would be unwise to use 4 ultimates in a fight. But I think that they should do it if it would secure this point for them, because I think it's their best shot at capping this point.
Well, Goblin has swapped off the far. He is now on to the Doomfist, so he's probably going to go bully Rezo and Narbles a ton. They do have the Bob and the Deadeye. It looks like Quidgible is going to swap over to the Diva. Plato's going to get 2 picks. Rezo gets 1 on the Goblin. Unfortunately, once again, much like the last fight, he gets 1. The rest of his team goes down as Quidgible, Icy, and Beanie both trying to get away. Beanie Bump the first one to fall. Quidgible out of the mech. Icy will go down as well. And unfortunately for Boise State Orange, they're not dying together, so now they have to wait for another reset.
Yes, they are now getting hard staggered, and they're walking into a lot of ultimates on the side of Boise State Blue. And Eichenwald is an amazing Doomfist map. The amount of flanks that come out on this map, and we've seen Goblin is very familiar with all of those. However, he should not be able to get a ton of value because of the amount of stuns Boise State Orange is running, as long as they manage their abilities properly.
Well, Plato's going to copy onto the Ash, gets nearly taken, just immediately taken down. Valkyrie has been used by Asu, so that's 1 ult out of the way from Boise State Orange. They've got 60 seconds left, so they better start going quickly here, or it's going to be another map win for Boise State Blue. Quidgible stunned out of the mech. He is now going to be in Baby Diva form. Doesn't look like there's the punish, but Rezo's going to be the one who's taken down. Pleb will follow. Quidgible does take down Goblin, who's not had a great time on the Doomfist. Nice stun onto Icy. Narbles will fall as well. Beanie Bum's going to make it a team kill, and it's 1 last fight for Boise State Orange.
1 last fight for Boise State Orange, in which they're sitting on some, most notably DPS ultimates and that Nano. They've had that Nano almost the entire game, but they keep getting picked before they can just unload a bunch of ultimates onto Boise State Blue, and I do believe that will be to their detriment. However, I also do believe there is a shot if they can rectify this and go in as a group.
Big Flux going to come out. Narvel's got to pick onto Plato. The slam down. The Deadeye comes out. The Nano's going to go on to Quidgible. Boise State Blue right now down a member. Goblin nearly falling again. That Doomfist not got a lot of value. Transcendence comes out, and so does the Bob, but Asu's been taken down. It's the only member who can't res for Boise State Blue. Narwhal gets another one on the Goblin. Beanie Bump going to be able to dodge the damage coming at him. We see a Diva Bomb used. The large bagel gets 1 pick, but this should be enough nice res from Beanie Bump onto Pleb to unlock the payload and keep Boise State Orange in this game.
Boise State Orange is absolutely still in this game. They went in as a team, and that will be how they win this map. That is their best shot at winning this map. And with a nice stagger onto a large bagel, they at least get a good, solid push towards second point.
see Goblin's now swapped over to the Widowmaker, so that is going to be a thorn for Boise State Orange, as they were at his mercy on the very final checkpoint when Boise State Blue was attacking. We do have the Gravitic Flux up for Icy and nothing else. Plato close to the copy, as unfortunately Kel is going to be taken down to kick things off. Guac tried to come down, but a nice stun used by Rezo there. You talked about D'Angelo. The only reason you pick McCree would be for that stun, and he plays it perfectly. As Plato gets a pick onto Narbles, but his clone is taken down. He's not gotten a lot of usage out of that Echo ultimate.
Nope.
Rez came out on the Narbles. Icy takes down Plato as well, so Boise State Orange doing a great job here. Unfortunately, this is all around that first corner. As we see, the payload has not gone very far. Rezo gets another one onto Goblin this time. Rezo coming alive on this map. Unfortunately for Mustard McCree, Guac is going to be chasing him down. As you talk about, he's just getting cooldowns out of the way, and he's going to retreat.
Yes, he is. He's going to retreat now that they're down one for a full fight. I mean, as you should. And now they're there.
Rez on to Plato. Now we're going to see Deadeye is going to be used by Rezo. Unfortunately, that's going to make him a wide open target for Goblin, who gets one. Bob's going to be called in by Narbles. Ace's used the Valkyrie and a nice kill onto the Baby Diva, as Kel's going to get one. Goblin, bang, bang, bang! He's going to get two. Plato gets another one. And Boise State Orange, that is unfortunately going to be all they get, is a Bob kill onto Goblin.
However, they are sitting on some ultimates to use for next fight, and Boise State Blue has nothing to use against them defensively, but offensively, they have quite a bit there with the Gravitic Flux and the mines will make it definitely hard for them to approach their next destination and get in position to fight what they want.
The announcer says there's only 30 seconds left, and unfortunately, they're going to have to do it down one, as we saw that the elimination came out, and then it just ended. The screen went black.
And then it all just ended.
It all just ended.
What do you think happened?
I'm going to think that Goblin got 5 headshots, immediately popped the infrared sight, and they never got back.
Absolutely. He just... I'm gonna raise you one more. I believe that he just got 6 headshots and just proceeded to with the infra sight. He was absolutely unstoppable.
It was all collaterals, too.
Absolutely.
I don't even think that's possible in Overwatch, but it was in that instance. So,
yes.
Boise State Blue's going to take that map. We're going to head to Escort now, which D'Angelo has already predicted is going to be Dorado.
I do believe that that would be the best shot for them, yes.
Why?
Because it's a good Sombra map. And Boise State Blue does have a good Sombra, but Frost is still the best Sombra that Boise State has in terms of practice hours and in terms of working with the team and just things like just the really important Sombra things like that. And while Dorado is a good map for aerials, at least on first point, and I do believe that Boise State Blue on defense will run some aerials just because it's so amazing for them on that spam. Mm-hmm. I do believe that Orange has a shot there with Frost on the Sombra.
Yeah, that was going to be the one thing that I was going to think that might flip this to be not Orange favored, but at least get them to stay with Boise State Blue. We've talked about it. Frost is the best Sombra player Boise State has. He makes frequent appearances on Blue Team when they need a Sombra. Is it something that Goblin is still slowly learning? So I would have thought they would have wanted 100% spam maps. There it is. You were correct, D'Angelo.
Hey, there it is. I'm not good at guessing player of the game, but I'm good with maps.
Yeah, I would have guessed for Boise State Orange, they should have played maps that 100% used Frost to their advantage. I will say they finally fixed it, by the way. Boise State Blues on the blue side. We've done it. I was very confused for a second, but we finally saved myself from utter confusion as we kicked things off there. Frost taken incredibly low as he's not on the Sombra, he's on the Echo. As Goblin's able to get a pick onto him. Guac with the Orbital Discord, just barely able to get away.
Oh my goodness, I saw Guac's life flash before my eyes.
I mean, hey, this is his job, though. He'd be a nuisance, the KD doesn't really matter. It's just absolutely annoying the other team. As Pleb has been taking down, slam down is going to happen. As Plato's going to take down Rezo. Nice hook, unfortunately, that's a ton of HP. You're not going to get through that in one shot. And as you talked about, it is something that he does well. He just eats up the hook cooldown, and there's their hook. Go that time on to Goblin, and that's where the hook should be going.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Rez on the Frost is going to come out. These teams are very even. You see Rez onto Goblin as well. No one's really found much of an advantage here in the early game. The Squishable's dropping low, so he's going to be taken down. Frost and Pleb are both low as well. Rocket Barrage is online, and with no worry about a hook. Surprised Goblin didn't want to drop it there. So it looks like Boise State Blue, or Boise State Orange, I did say, as they have finally swapped back. Blue's on blue, orange is on orange, has retreated.
Yes, that Discord orb is really hurting Boise State Orange there. Their tanks, particularly Quidgible, are having a really rough time trying to navigate around that Discord that's coming out from a large bagel.
Now we see Frost onto the Sombra. He's very close to the Echo ult. That's something we've talked about the angle. The ults don't always make it, so swap over. Nice hit by Rezo there. 2 in the head onto Play-Doh. Valkyrie going to be used by Asu. Can he get the nice body block there by Kel to save Rezo as the Rez came out from Asu, who used the Valkyrie there. Quidgible going to be forced out of the mech. Dynamite going to be used. Rocket Barrage picks up Icy. So the tank line for Boise State Orange not having the greatest of times. Quidgible going to jump off the edge just to reset. Frost does take down a large bagel, but unfortunately for Orange, that's about all they get.
That is about all they get. However, they are at an ultimate advantage with seeing some potential for a huge Bob play there, as we've seen in the past. And with Beanie Bomb on the Valkyrie, they do have a solid engage. However, they will need to be careful of the bomb, and their DPS need to make sure that anything they do is out of range of the Tranquil.
Frost has gone over to the Tracers. The Valkyrie's pumped by Beanie Bum, and Quidgible's going to be able to take down Asu, so it's going to allow Boise State Orange to slowly start pushing. Looks like, unfortunately, that sleep from Pleb is going to miss as Rezo's pushing around the corner there. Does have the Bob as well with the Pocket Mercy as Plato's unfortunately able to take out Frost. So Boise State Orange going to be down a member. They're going to retreat to the payload. Nice sleep on the Guac. Dynamite's going to hit him as well, but as we've seen off map, he's going to be able to just roll away. Quidgible forced out of the mech. Bob has been called in by Rezo, who's going to be able to shut down that annoying little hamster. Cal immediately takes him down, though, so he only gets 1. Rezo's got to retreat away as Goblin put in a ton of damage. A large bagel forced to use the Transcendence, and it's going to buy time for Ace to get the res on to Guac. And now Boise State Blue once again back at full strength.
Back at full strength with the Diva Bomb and almost on their own Bob. Just one good Dynamite away. However, Boise State Orange still does have the ultimate advantage, and so it might be worth it to use the ultimate.
Well, they got the res onto Rezo, but Beanie Bum's going to paint it. They are able to nano Quidgible, but Pleb's going to be taken down. Guac is going to get Rezo as well. Quidgible with the nano does take down Guac and nothing more as he's trying to hunt Goblin out of the air. Unfortunately, he's not able to find it. The Pocket Mercy is going to get him right back up to full strength. Speaking of that, Asu has used the Valkyrie, and Quidgible's now going to have to retreat to spawn to get some healing.
That is not the ultimate usage that I was talking about, and now it is going to be much more difficult for Boise State Orange to push through this. Perhaps a Diva Bomb into their aerials to get some eliminations, but they're just looking at so many on the side of Boise State Blue now.
Got to move fast as we're into overtime here. Rocket Barrage going to be used by Goblin. It's going to get 2 on Icy and Quidgible. Diva Bomb from Kel gets another one on the Beanie Bum, and unfortunately, I don't think Orange is going to have the members to extend overtime as Rezo and Pleb both fall trying to get on the point. And that is going to be a lackluster push for Orange. We'll see if they can defend against Boise State Blue.
Yes, they did not get the values out of their ultimates that they did on the previous maps, and it did definitely hurt them. And this will be a hard hold for Boise State Orange there. And because Boise State Blue really just needs to win one clean fight. To get the payload that far, they need to win one clean fight. And then, depending on the mobility of Boise State Orange's comp, they might get a staggered recontest, but they're not going to get a full team there unless Boise State Blue seriously messes up their wipe or their
simple.
kills.
Just get team killed if you're Boise State Orange, and then you can all come back together.
Ready for battle.
They wouldn't even make it all back together, most likely. Some of their faster members would be able to come in staggered, but really the payload is at a point where all Boise State Blue has to do is win one fight. If it were closer to the next point, I would totally say Boise State Orange, you can afford to wipe once and then come back, but they can't even afford to fight once, so it's going to be a very uphill battle for Orange here.
I would think if what you're saying is correct, D'Angelo, we won't see a close hold. Because from time to time, we've seen teams against Boise State Blue or against Boise State Orange where they get shut down, and then they're like, hey, let's just let them get right to the pot they need to cap before we fight. But Orange, understanding what you said is correct, D'Angelo, they're like, all right, we got one chance, and this doesn't really matter where we hold. So they're going to wait for the high ground, going to allow the payload to push to them because that's really the only chance they're going to have. We do see Goblin on the Echo. Rezo and Frost. Nice hook onto a large bagel. Nice. That's going to be a good start for Boise State Orange. Unfortunately, they're going to have quite a lot of those. Goblin's going to take down Icy. Frost is very low. Hook's going to miss, and Quidgible's going to be forced to heal back up. Beanie Book's going to be able to get a res on the Icy to get them back to full strength. Payload still pushing. Don't want to pull a C9. Hook onto Cal, not the target you want, but Rez was able to take down a large bagel again, who's currently not having a very fun time on that Lucio. He'll get res up, though.
Not.
And here comes the last fight, or at least the first of many last fights from Boise State Orange. Rezo drops a low, nice hook onto Play-Doh. Frost is going to steal it, but that's going to allow Boise State Orange to potentially hold. Nice pick onto Glock as well. No annoying little hamster to deal with. Kel dropping a little bit low. Does look like Goblin on the Echo doing some damage, but it's a reset for Boise State Blue.
Yes, it is a restate for Boise State Blue, in no small part to Quidgible's hooks.
Yep.
If you'll notice, any hook that he's gotten that hasn't been on a ball has either almost guaranteed a kill, guaranteed a solo kill for him, or has brought them in a worse position. It's just been so much better when he hooks the squishies than hooking the ball, and he seems to have figured that out now and is using that to Boise State Orange's benefit.
Goblin's going to copy onto Icy, immediately gets hooked to take it down. Whole Hog going to be used as Plato's called in the bomb. The Nano has gone on to Quidgible. Nice interrupt there on the Whole Hog by Kel. And unfortunately, Boise State Orange, despite all of the great hook plays, they are now sitting down 3. The Valkyrie has been used, but you start to think they're running out of members. And as you said, D'Angelo, they can only afford one fight. As soon as Icy falls, Frost and Pleb trying to get back. I don't think they're going to even come close. They will not. They're not even on screen. And Boise State Blue is going to wrap this up with a 3-0 victory.
However, a good job on the side of Boise State Orange, because it did take them using 3 ultimates at a time, and 3, almost 4 ultimates at a time, and it is not fair in any map that is similar skill levels. It is not fair to expect yourself to sustain through 3 or 4 ultimates.
So we are going to wrap this up for our Overwatch portion. We do have some Valorant still coming up next, but overall, D'Angelo, you got to be impressed with how Boise State Blue's playing. It's going to take a very strong team to give them their first loss.
Oh my gosh, it is going to take an amazingly strong team. And I sincerely hope that that does not happen, because I am just so proud of Boise State Blue, and they improve and continue to improve. So not only would it take a strong team, but it would take a learning team, because Boise State Blue, while they're strong now, they're only getting better. As we've seen with Walk on the Ball, the first time was a little bit feedy.
Yeah,
the first time we saw it.
A little bit.
But this time it was just an absolute menace, forcing Boise State Orange for the majority of maps to just play right into his hands. And so if that isn't a testament to the massive amounts of improvement that Boise State Blue is constantly doing, I don't know what is, Fish.
Well, good news for you, D'Angelo. We're not going to have an ICCU player of the game, so your player of the game that you cannot be wrong on is...
Okay, so I want to give it to like,
you get one.
Listen.
Quickly.
I would like to say Rezo.
All right.
Because there were a lot of individual skill differences that were happening this map just because of the differences of the 2 teams.
Yes.
And while Boise State is able to field 2 amazing Overwatch teams, we saw Rezo really rise to the challenge, and we've seen him on Boise State Blue as well. And so these couple of maps, when there wasn't really a lot else working for Orange, Rezo always was, and it was absolutely amazing to watch. And so even though he himself wasn't able to get all of the value that he needed, because it's a 6-player game,
Yep.
he absolutely did more than enough and an amazing job, and I do believe that he is worthy of player of the game, and I do think that an honorable mention should go to Quidgible, because he also did an absolutely amazing job there.
I will say I will take that time to stand on my smoke box and say, despite all the McCree play, we saw 1 Deadeye kill, so I remain undefeated in how useless. I'm pretty sure he actually used it once to reload and get a kill. That just tells you all you need to know. So that will wrap up our Overwatch portion of the broadcast here tonight. Like we said, we still have Boise State Valorant around the corner, but we're going to leave you with our top 5 plays from our Bronco on Bronco massacre that we just witnessed.
Oh my goodness. However, just like predicted, Boise State won.
That's true. Boise State did win. And here's the top 5 plays from that victory. Transcendence comes out, and so does the Bob, but Ace's been taken down. It's the only member who can't res for Boise State Blue. Narwhal gets another one on the Goblin. Beanie Bum going to be able to dodge the damage coming at him. We see a Diva Bomb used. The Large Bagel gets one pick, but this should be enough nice res from Beanie Bum onto Pleb to unlock the payload and keep Boise State orange in this game.
Boise State.
That's going to make him a wide open target for Goblin, who gets one. Bob's going to be called in by Narbles. Ace's used the Valkyrie and a nice kill onto the Baby Diva. As Kel's going to get one. Goblin, bang, bang, bang! He's going to get two. Plato gets another one. And Boise State Orange, that is unfortunately going to be all they get is a Bob kill onto Goblin. He's going to go charging right back in, and now his target is going to be Pleb, who's not going to make it away. Ace is going to get a res on the Plato, who was picked up by Narbles, but Rezo doing a great job getting another pick onto a Large Bagel. Icy's going to take down Kel out of his mech, and Boise State Blue is sustaining some casualties, but they should be able to survive as Rezo and Beanie Bum do go down. Quidgible is going to swap over to the Diva. Plato's going to get two picks. Rezo gets one on the Goblin. Unfortunately, once again, much like the last fight, he gets one. The rest of his team goes down as Quidgible, Icy, and Beanie both trying to get away. Beanie Bum's the first one to fall. Quidgible out of the...
Here in Idaho, we do things a little differently. First rule, camouflage never goes out of style. Next, always use fry sauce. I mean, why wouldn't you? Hold steady when out-of-state friends think you're from Iowa. We call it pop, not soda. We always put a lift on our pickups. And we always buckle up because we still have a lot we want to do, and I'm guessing you do too.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your Guard adventure.
Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. Hold steady when out-of-state friends think you're from Iowa. And always buckle up Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by. Here in Idaho, we do things a little differently. First rule, camouflage never goes out of style. Next, always use fry sauce. I mean, why wouldn't you? Hold steady when out-of-state friends think you're from Iowa. We call it pop, not soda. We always put a lift on our pickups. And we always buckle up because we still have a lot we want to do, and I'm guessing you do too.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your Guard adventure.
Welcome everybody to the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. I am here to bring you a wonderful match between Boise State and Stockton College. We have an excellent setup coming out here for you today with our Halloween decor we have behind us. It's going to be an excellent matchup. I'm here joining you. I am Tim Voiceless Whitman, and joining me is Adam. Adam, say hello. Okay, we don't have Adam here for just a second, but that's okay. We have the Culver Stockton College Wildcats going up against Boise State University, our boys in blue, right now in the NECC Skillshot Valorant Tournament. We are still in the group stages here in the early stages of the game, but don't you worry, the playoffs are a-coming. Get a nice view there of our sweet rig, our sadly empty PCs because pandemic makes it hard for you to play in person, and some more Halloween decorations here in our wonderful esports arena, generously hosted by Game Pants. And we are going to bring you live the next match in Boise State's rise to the playoffs. They have been utterly dominant in the first few rounds so far, but the play-ins are fast approaching, and it will remain to be seen whether Boise State can continue that incredibly dominant streak or if they will have a little bit of a struggle with their next opponent. Tonight we will be interested to see if that is going to be happening. We're going to try and see if we can locate my colleague, Chizu. I'm not exactly sure how his name is pronounced. Poor Baratel is out for the evening, so I will be joined by him. And together we're going to bring you the best Valorant game that we can. Let's take a look really quick at the NECC Skillshot Valorant rule set here. We have 9 groups of 6 players from 50 universities. They're going to play a round-robin group stage, followed by a play-in bracket November 1st, rounds of 32 and 16 a couple days after that, and the quarter and semifinals November 10th, with the finals soon to follow after that. It's going to be a very interesting tournament, and Boise State would be interesting to see if they struggle at all once things start to heat up a little bit, if they start to get a little bit more competitive. Most of the games they have played so far have been a little bit of a smash. So we'll have to see if that if that's going to continue, or if we have any sort of a competitive game. Last week's games were, I believe, a 52-0 between both teams. The Boise State blue team and the green team there. So between the two of them, they won 52 rounds and lost absolutely none. So hopefully today is a little bit more competitive, as that makes for just a little bit more. We get more Valorant to watch. We get a bit more of an exciting game to watch. You get to hear the hype in my voice go up a little bit more. So we're going to see if that happens for us today. We're going to make sure that we have all of our production going on today. We have an excellent production team working for us. Shout out to all those guys in the booth there working their hardest. They're doing their best. And it looks like we got a wonderful shot of the Tetris machine going in the back there. No, don't put that there. Yes. There you go, right there. Yep, clear that line. Now save the vertical. That is going to go right there. Don't put it there. It won't reach. It won't reach. There you go. That's good. That one's much better. Safe. Excellent. It's going well. It's going well. Oh, I don't know if I would have used the line there. I think I would have put it in the vertical slot right there. That's okay though. He's doing his best. Oh, looking good. It's interesting. I played this version of Tetris the other day while we were waiting for my first cast to start. It doesn't have the usual Tetris music, that wonderful Russian like. Oh, friendly reminder from everybody right now that we are always looking for talented players, production, and broadcast talent at Boise State's esports program. Top talent, along with good grades and eligibility, can earn you scholarships as well. Sign up today by visiting boisestate.edu/esports for more information. It's actually how I got to start here as well. Just visiting that page, visiting the Discord. They have a wonderful little like sizzle reel with a note at the end that you can always visit the Discord for more information if you are interested in joining the esports program. Also a reminder to check out the Rocky Mountain Warfare redo. Looks like the Modern Warfare event is going to go on from 6 to 7, the 6th to 7th of November of 2020, very soon here. And we'll be interested to see how that goes, if Boise State can shake out another win for themselves, or if it will be a tough fight there. We'll see how everything goes. And we're just going to go we're just going to go straight into the game, it sounds like. I'm getting a message right here. So I am going to just see how we can get this done for you guys, and hopefully we can bring you an action-packed cast. Let's head right into the game. It looks like we have Boise State fielding with Broken, Jabald, Jazak, Zeke, and one other person whose name I missed. And for CSC, they will be fielding their own Reyna. I like to see Reyna in competitive play. A Breach, an Omen, a Phoenix, and a Sova. Both teams fielding a Reyna. That's good. I really like Reyna. Oh, Pittman is our 5th player here for Boise State. That would be excellent to see. Looks like the pistol round coming out now. We just got Pittman checking the cams, looking for anybody. Ooh, I like that cam placement from Pittman. That is, nobody is ever going to remember that that's there. It was an excellent choice there. Looks like CSC just choosing to play very slowly. They're happy to take it up. Nice looking up there from, that's A-mid, seeing if they can catch anybody out. Very happy to just sit back and wait, hoping that Boise State will push into them and they can get a pick, but Boise State are going to fall for no such shenanigans, making the defenders come to them. Looks like the blind comes out, as well as the smoke from Omen, and some few shots are exchanged.
There they are.
Nobody taking too much damage, but the CSC Breach is tagged up slightly. Zach with the peek, going to get tagged up. Still nobody going down. Attempted plant coming down, but Verizon and Aaron will go down. followed by CSC Sanders, as CSC is immediately down 3 players, and wow! That was a slow round until it wasn't. Just the immediate eruption there as everybody just launched into each other. Boise State coming out with the first win there. Zeke with 2 kills, but the only death in the round, so punished a little bit for his aggressive hubris there. Although I do want to make note that these pistol rounds are incredibly important. It can be easy to misinterpret that, oh, these are the low skill rounds. It kind of just comes out to who gets a little bit lucky. But the pistol rounds can lay the tempo for how the rest of the half goes. You know, your eco is one of the biggest parts of Valorant here. Oh, actually, it looks like Broken switching over to a Stinger. I like that. I like switching to SMGs in the second round. Anyway, as I was saying, your eco can play a huge difference in the early stages of the game because it can determine who picks up the first few rounds, and those rounds can make all the difference. I think CSC did notice the rotation there, noticed that there was somebody watching that corner, so they may elect to flash as they go into that area. They have taken over hookah for now. Broken watching through the hookah window, exchanging a few shots, but nobody taking any damage just yet. The Omen blind is going to come out. The excellent use of that utility to make a little bit more space. Also, easy to make the enemy afraid to push in. We do have CSC looking like they're good. They don't like it. They're going to go rotate back around and go through a mid, with the exception of one player who is waiting in showers. Their Omen is throwing out blinds. Jabal's going to exchange a couple shots here through the window. Going to try and find if he's something. Aaron is going to be planting the bomb. Jabal with the immediate headshot. Going to get that one off with Zeke finding one of his own, and Jazak. Jabal with another. Wow, Boise State with 4 quick kills. And just 1 remaining. The Phoenix in the shower going to get taken out. Jabal with 3 in that round. Excellent. As the defuse is going to come through, and Boise State is going to pick up their second round. Jabald with 4 so far, and no deaths. We'll see if he can keep that streak going. Absolutely flawless from Boise State there. Be interesting to see if they can make that lead grow, as the econ has significantly shifted in their advantage. CSC going to be running on pretty low. They may have enough money to buy a couple rifles in this round. Looks like they're going to be a few Phantoms bought. Just from Aaron so far, the heavy shields. Jazak opting for the aggressive op and only light shields. We'll see if that ends up punishing him at all, or if he's going to be able to pick up some quick kills. The op can be a huge swing either way. If you manage to lose it to the enemy team, that's 5,000 credits down the drain, and the enemy team has the most powerful gun in the game immediately. So it'll be interesting to see if they can hold on to that and use it to their advantage. The Owl drone coming out from Jazak here. He's going to spot the enemy breach hiding in the corner there. Will not get the tag off, but he'll know that he's there. Oh, and the op gets the immediate kill onto Aaron. Wow. Sit down, son. As Broken seems to be pushing up, taking a view into hookah, seeing he's going to recognize that CSC are trying to push through there. They have rotated over, not wanting to deal with the op. They're going to try and push through hookah themselves. Just fanning out, trying to spread some area thin. It does appear that CSC likes to play defensively. They are not extremely aggressive, at least in their attempts so far. The Owl drone coming out from them, but they are happy to play this one slow. They got plenty of time on the clock. We'll see if they can get anything done with it. The Owl drone is going to hit the trip mine there, and will end up getting either deleted, I think, by the enemy Sova there on CSC. Preparing the bomb bot here for Broken. He's going to send that out and immediately get revealed. Some spray coming down, the spam trying to see if anybody can get caught with the wall bang there, but no one will be caught so far. It looks like CSC are once again deciding they don't like it, and they're going to rotate back and go back through A main, where Boise State has left only Jabald with his Vandal.
30 seconds
hoping
left.
to find somebody. You hear the announcer there giving you the 30 seconds left moment of announcement there, as Jazak sends out the recon bolt of his own. Will not catch anybody, as CSC has moved all the way back into their own spawn. Are they really just going to give up on the round? They are. They still have 4 players left. Come on, I mean, you got to try something here. They're just going to save. With still 4 players alive, they're deciding they're going to make a 4-man save, as Boise State just out-rotated CSC there. 1 pick only during the entire round, as Boise State just kept themselves ahead of CSC, playing the footwork game and not giving them anywhere to enter. And they just, CSC just give up on the round. That is incredible. I am not sure I have seen that in a competitive Valorant game ever. Wow. Pittman laying down the Cypher traps here. Going to be setting up his cage of vision around B point. He is daring anybody to get close, hit his tripwires, hit his cages, and walk into the view of his camera. He's going to have all the information he needs should CSC decide to push into B site there. Broken with the Stinger is waiting. Oh, just going to rotate just in time. almost had the pick. Oh, the blind coming out. Broken going to send out the boom bot and try and catch somebody. I like the angle of that boom bot as he prepares the stinger. CSC providing a little bit more aggression this round. They are going to push quite heavily into B site, right into most of that Cypher trap. Broken going to send out the grenade. Is he going to catch anybody with it? Ooh, Pittman with the pick, and Jazak with a wallbang using the Vandal, but it is a 2-for-2 trade. 3 players on both sides as Pittman going to get blinded by the Reyna blind there. Jazak going to send out the recon dart. He's going to reveal one of the players, get himself a pick, but then immediately get taken out as Jabald gets a pick of his own with the Vandal. Just Flaco? Phoenix waiting in the wings with his curveball ready. Going to try and get some picks of his own, but nobody is within line of sight. Both Jazak and Pittman playing back there. The Reyna and the Cypher. Oh, sorry, Jabald, excuse me. Jabald and Pittman playing back there. They do know exactly where
left.
The Phoenix is rotating, but they are not within line of sight. He's going to take back, just head back. I wonder if he was spotted there. Did he see the gun as he rotated? Looks like Flaco is deciding he's going to push in. He's preparing. He did not see. He's preparing. Oh, the pre-fire. He gets caught in the pre-fire. Pittman was blinded, but it didn't matter. He was taken out anyway. Wow. Just walking right into the spam there. Bad luck for Flaco. That never feels good. You hit the blind, but you get taken down by the spam anyway. Wow, them's the breaks, huh? Well, Boise stayed up 4 rounds as Pittman is going to place some more of his Cypher traps around B point. It seems that they have taken a liking to playing this Cypher on the B point with the help of the Raze. Between the two of them, Cypher can provide the information, and Raze has so much utility to lock down areas and keep enemies from advancing where they'd like to advance, so they can stall for days while the rest of Boise State rotates should CSC decide that they would like to go over to B site. The recon dart coming out now. Going to head up into heaven there on A point. Not going to see anybody because nobody's up there. Couple shots coming out, not sure who from, but Jabald is keeping a lockdown on this A main point. Oh, Broken with a headshot on Aaron. Must have off screen somewhere. We missed that, but wow. Oh, the shot's coming through, but CSC Sanders finding the headshot onto Jabald. It is an even trade, 4-for-4. Oh, enemy tag there with Jazak's owl drone. He does know exactly where that's coming from, and the grenade is going to come through, but not going to find anybody for CSC there. The blind coming through from Zeke. He will blind. I'm not sure who that was, but CSC Sanders was found out. Not found with the blind. It's the Reyna back there in the back. CSC Sanders found with the blind and taken out immediately after. Flaco, Zeke, Jazak, and Broken all going to get taken down in quick succession, and Pittman has to rotate from the other side of the map. CSC is going to get the plant, and 2 of them remaining. The Phoenix with his run it back available, and Sova is currently planting the spike, although actually not planting the spike. I'm not sure if he's planning on baiting. He seems to be taking his dear sweet time. That may come back to bite him if this becomes a drawn-out fight. Now, the CSC Sova is a little bit damaged. He may be taken down if some wallbang or spam comes into play there. He will be taking a position on the point, and the Phoenix Flaco will be holding down elbow. He's going to get some tag up onto Pittman here. Pittman just juggling, waiting for position. He knows, I think, where both players are. He's just trying not to... Oh, he did not know where Verizon was with the headshot. CSC is going to pick up their first round of the match, and it's going to be 4-1. They will keep 2 of their guns. Very nice show off there of that beautiful gun skin. Oof, that's a pretty one. Not sure if I'd spend money on it myself, but it is nice nonetheless. There we are, looking at all the different gun skins we have available. Oh, look at Zeke with his boring Phantom skin. Boo! Skins get wins, Zeke. Looks like we
I'm not sure if you can... Voiceless, can you hear me?
I can hear you. You're back.
Oh, okay. First off, the on and off switch was like flipped 9 to 12 to 20 times. Secondly, a pleasure to have you on broadcast, man. I spent more time staring at my Twitch on my phone. You have the biggest backpack NA, sir. Congratulations. Way to carry that, dude. This kid's good. I like him. So thank you so much for having me on your desk this evening.
Thank you very much. We're excited to get this game kicked off with you. Well, what are you thinking so far of how this game is shaken up?
Well, apparently Boise State's got a little bit of a game to prove, if you will, with the first handful of rounds going their way. But again, as I was fighting the computer gods, if you will, how do you think you could summarize this in like 30 seconds or less as this fight's about to break out?
CSC seems to like to play very defensively, and Boise State seems pretty well equipped to handle that. They lock down areas well, and they have a great habit of using their utility to keep everybody away from the point. That is the most unlucky recon dart I've ever seen. CSC did pick up one round there just recently, so we'll see if that econ can translate into anything more for them as the match goes on.
Sure, absolutely. We saw some pretty big buys, if I'm not mistaken, to pretty good usage, if that's to be a word that I'm going to use here. Now we got to take a look here into what they refer to as the bathrooms, and a bop
30 seconds left.
finds him right there through the smoke. Little guessing, and you nailed it. Feels pretty good here, as it does look like Boise State up 2 will be able to hold pretty well. Just check the boxes, make sure no one's getting spicy. They haven't heard really any teleports or anything like that. They're just kind of lying in wait. 15 seconds, they can do what they want.
It does look like CSC are not a fan of this. They got 10 seconds to go, and they are not going anywhere.
Absolutely, man. It's one of those things where, you know, they might like what they're holding on to right now, is unfortunately we can't see exactly what they have in inventory. And you kind of take the loss, and you just don't lose the resource kind of thing. You know, it's as a under-committal as opposed to over at that point.
Absolutely. Sometimes the save is the best play. Now, CSC do have all 5 of their ultimates and have yet to use any of them. Hey there! It's good to see you.
Dude. That I am up.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
I appreciate that, man. I am wearing a, we're casting Valorant today as we go through the buy phase here. We can talk about that later. I am currently wearing Flowerant apparel. So as we get to the next stream, you know, make sure you pay attention to the brightness that is my current attire.
Oh, the blind going to come through there. Broken going to have to be pushed off of his position. Ooh, the Rolling Thunder going to come through as well. He's going to be in serious trouble if someone decides to push into them. They know exactly where he is based on the location of that grenade coming out. He's going to get picked off by the Phantom. Aaron coming out. And CSC have taken complete control of B point. BSU is going to have to retake if they want a chance at winning this round as the spike goes down.
You know, Spike is down now, looking for any kind of sign to get in, looking for any kind of opportunity, and he's going to come the Sova ult, so going to have to be aware. Location is revealed not only on one, might have been multiple individuals here, and now we're burning everything to get on into the fight to at least get some kind of vision up here in Haven. Going to be mowed down here from the left-hand side. Boise State down 1, but as they continue on, shots fired. Equalize, CSC going to lose 2 immediately. Jabid is down, Jock's going to find the other, and we've got some shots not going to be exchanged correctly. CSC does have the advantage here. Looking with the up. Maybe you can get something there. Sova should be able to find this out. Looking for the defuse, but it's going to be a dangerous one at that. Gives it a little bit of the bait. Looks for the shot. He finds it. That will seal the round for Boise State. He tries to GTFO and unfortunately falls, but you still feel good on the clutch.
Oh, wow. Even though you lose the round there, you completely reset the economy for CSC. They are going to have enough to buy full rifles again this round, but another round like that, and they could be faced back with a pistol round, a half buy or something like that for themselves. That is unfortunate that the round was lost for Boise State, but the dominance showed in the later half. If they had just a little bit more time, I'm sure that defuse would have come through.
Well, absolutely, and the way he played that is super classic. Get the vision, make him walk out. It's one of those, okay, we got it, just bail. I was just explaining this to somebody that, you know, you may lose the round on the defuse, but just denying them those resources as they peel out and try to save their own skin is almost as worth it.
Oh, yeah, and it feels great, too. It's just such a confidence boost. You're like, when you're up by 3, you're like, I'll give a round away in order to take that away from the enemy team. Absolutely.
Absolutely. It's just, you know, fair game. It's just dependent on how you feel going into that next round. With a three-round lead, you're feeling pretty good right now. You still have some leftover resources. You still have some room to play with right now, especially with the way things are set up on the attack side. So we'll see if that 1 or 2 rounds kind of just messed things up, but I'm still feeling pretty strong. Boise State right now really showing that not only do they hold these angles, they hold this game.
CSC know that there is an op around this corner, but they seem determined. Oh, nope. As I say that, they're going to rotate away and push B site. They're already down 2 players, so it'll be interesting to see. In the past, they dropped 1 player and decided they wanted to do a 4-man save. Will they decide that they want to do that again, or are they going to try and push into B site, where Broken is holding on top of the boxes there, and Pittman has the camera? He will know as soon as somebody pokes their head into the Wooden Gardens area there.
Yeah, absolutely. And you just have to try to understand, like, what do you want out of this next round? Is it, oh, never mind, is it a headshot or 2? Because you're going to get taken down in the process. So Boise State going to lose one there is Aaron is going to find that you're a mean man, Ron. And now rotations, everyone's scattering to their respective sides, looking for a way in. They know that there's an opportunity here. And now it's up to Boise State to decide where they want to commit the resources. They do have opportunities here. Going to pop off a couple shots out. comes Nantu going to fall there as Saint is going to find Zeke, but Joss finds Saint in the meanwhile. Knives are out. Another shot there by Jabald is going to find another one for Boise State. It's 1-on-3. The spike is down. The question is, where are we hiding? Boise State has a great bench here, should be able to do everything and then some. Give him the old kiss of the fist, and Defusal will go through as well in favor of Boise. Oh, look at that.
Look at the teamwork. He gives him the
teamwork.
defuse.
A little high five there in the exchange. Absolutely beautiful. Boise State picking up the win on that round.
I love the give up of the defuse so your buddy can get another ult point. That is all about the teamwork there. And those ults, you know, when the game first came out, I looked at those ultimates and I was like, you know, I don't feel like these are worth it to have to build over the course of multiple rounds. You know, I come from a little bit of an Overwatch background. I feel like ults should be up all the time. But as
that's when you engage.
Yeah, but now that I've played a little bit more Valorant, you know, those ults I feel like are excellently balanced, and they have the opportunity, if used in the right way, to absolutely change the course of a round. So I love the way that you have that play and counterplay in Valorant. Ooh.
Yeah, another instance to kind of like think about is just like the utility as opposed to the aggression. You know, the way that, as you mentioned, things are balanced is very, very huge as far as this is concerned. Dart's going to come out, nice little shot, give him the nade, the kiss of the fist, they're all there. You got an ultimate opportunity, launches it in, and he does get a tick off that one. That was a beautiful little maneuver and usage of just about everything in Broken's kit.
Broken only with one blast pack remaining. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him as he is holding down this site all by himself, but CSC are going to rotate away from the point. Interestingly, they do not fancy that. They are going to head back and probably try and go up A main. It seems when they are stuffed on B side, they like A main as their point. Showers is not their thing. As the Omen going to peek out there and get a pick on Jabald. CSC Sanders with the Bulldog. Going to get two, take down Zeke as well. Boise State down 2 players in the 3 versus 5 already as everybody rotating to A site.
That's one of those brain stew moments. That's when your brain literally turns to stew because of the situation at hand. Both Boise State players had an opportunity. Oh my goodness, another shot coming out there. CSC going to find a third one. Looking absolutely opposite as they have the entire game. Picking up everybody pretty cleanly nonetheless. We'll see how it goes throughout here.
Is Pittman going to choose? It looks like Pittman is going to choose to save the op. They want to keep that gun in play for future rounds. They don't fancy a 2 versus 5. Going to see if they can pick anybody who tries to push away, probably as the bomb explodes, but they're going to give this round away, make it a 6 versus 3, and keep some of the gun inventory and econ in their favor. A couple of the members of CSC are tagged up, but I think I agree with this decision to save here. And op can, especially if you give it away, 5,000 credit swing to your opponents is such a killer when you lose that, and suddenly it can be so oppressive trying to play into the op that you just lost to them. So
sure, absolutely. I mean, it's one of those things too where like maybe again I was focusing on the first 2 kills that happened in that round because it did seem like a little bit of an overstep from Boise State / just not knowing like spray patterns, like getting a little excited, if you will. Because again, that aggression up into that right-hand side seemed a little unwarranted, especially with the information that there was no one further behind him on the left by that teleporter. But again, it's a little slip right now. Again, Boise State still does feel pretty comfortable. They just need to be able to manage with the resources that they do not have now that they have currently had in previous matches.
I gotta say, as tense as it makes the game for Boise State fans, I'm a bit of a fan of the fact that this is a little bit closer of a game than the ones we had last week. It gives us more Valorant to watch, and it gives us a little bit more exciting of a game. 52-0 is great for Boise State as a team, but it's not the best to watch. Zeke gonna get a pick there.
Come on now. It's the best of the best. It's the Karate Kid best around kind of situation. But, you know, you do learn a lot more from the losses than you do the victories, as we have said time and time again on this stream. So I agree with you, and I like to see, yeah, like I said, not a massive gap between these 2 teams. But I do like the fact that it seems that Boise State can do a lot with very minimal resources, too. And I want to see that put really into effect here, so they're going to check showers.
They are going to check showers. They can see, I think that's Zeke's Omen smoke there, sitting there, daring anybody to push through it. And it looks like as soon as it expires, a couple members from CSC, including their Breach, are going to peek that corner. Some tags going around. Oh, the Rolling Thunder going to come through. Zeke could be in trouble here. Oh! Woo! Teleports into the line of sight of his enemies there.
Oh, man, and bodies dropping all over the place. CSC is going to come out, unfortunately, on the losing end of that. But they do have very sneaky angles here if they so choose. You see Boise State rotating down. Out comes the
30
Boomba,
seconds left.
if you will. As well as, oh, another headshot there. Broken going to find that one. Phoenix ult going to be used. Let's rewind some time there as Flake is looking for an opportunity here. Again, Spike is right in his hands, and out comes the damage.
Oh, taken down to 18 HP.
Aware.
They're going to dare him to push into them. He does have that hot hands and the flame wall. Both can heal him up, but he does not have time to use them. If he's going to plant, he has to do it now. He doesn't even have the spike. Oh, that's just going to be the round over.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be that then, and that's a round over to Boise State, and all they had to do was stagger out, which, again, is something that they've done very, very well. They don't even have to win the round. They can just kind of bleed it out and still be okay with, again, that lead they have given themselves from the, I think it was, first 4 rounds before CSC was able to get one.
Yeah, I mean, the 4-round lead puts you in such a great economic advantage that later on in the game, you can't afford to lose a couple rounds because you have such a bank built up that it's okay, and you can recoup those losses with the bank that you've built up over the course of your win rounds. So it'll be interesting to see that if CSC, their econ, this is going to be their last rifle gun buy. If they want to be able to perform a full buy next round, they're going to have to win this one. It'll be interesting to see if they can do that or if they're going to be forced into a half buy next round.
Yeah, we'll see what it unfolds. I love the fact that the recon dart is becoming a huge problem / almost a duck hunt meme at this point. One shot coming out as Jazz going to get one straight off of the Sova ult. That feels pretty good, man. You just kind of aim it right and see what happens. Another shot coming through. Jabal guesses. Jabal just so happens to be right. Now, does CSC do the CSC where they kind of stand there and CSC what happens? Or are they just going to, run this down? So we'll see. Right now, it looks like they're playing it super conservative this time around, but we'll see as it unfolds here with 53 seconds left to go.
Another recon dart coming out from CSC, also not really landing where they'd like it. And the Omen, CSC Sanders getting his head taken off by Jazak there. Jazak just on fire with this op. I don't think I've seen him miss with it yet.
Well, I mean, it just feels good, man, because some days it's the other way, right? You really hope that you can land at least 1 or 2, if not in the round, in the game. And he is
30 seconds
multiple per round, and it is showing in the Boise State scorecard. And again, as we said, CSC just gonna, hang out, see what happens, hold the resources that they do have as Boise State starts creating a Scrooge McDuck pile of cash.
Dive into that coin pile, son. As only 12 seconds remain on the clock, CSC are going to hold their guns. They're not going to push into this. I don't mind that move. I mean, they are behind in rounds, and eventually those rounds are going to start to catch up with them. But as I said at the beginning of the round, their bank is quite small, so they do want to hold on to whatever guns they can. We'll see if this 5-round deficit that they're in will come back to bite them later, as we do head into our last round of the half. I suppose with money about to be a non-issue, everybody's going to spend what they have because it's all going to be gone soon.
Get the big pew-pews while you can. You see 2 ops there right now. Oh, never mind, changing it around. We'll see what we got there. There we go. That's what I was looking at. I didn't think we had any troll situations going on here. But Boise State, again, has just done a really good job of not only holding the angles, they've been playing from behind in certain instances, throwing a couple of rounds. And now that they have the Buku Bucks, they're going to do some pretty crazy stuff, skins and all. So we'll see how this round goes. Again, they're not going to lose anything by expending these resources.
CSC deciding that they are going to push into B site this time. They haven't had much luck on A site. Broken with a shot in the back on Aaron, and they are going to know exactly where he is, but it doesn't matter. Oh, gets away with the escape using the blast pack. I can't believe he went through that. Pittman going to pick up one. Jabal going to pick up one as Broken is taken down. It's a trade, but it's a 4v2 as CSC plants on the point there.
The Bald finding yet another one, and that Rise just had so much prowess, just showing up, able to get on out. Defenders picking up that one. What a ridiculous round for Boise State. From the shot in the back,
Switching
hey,
sides.
How are you, to everything that unfolded throughout the next 10 seconds. That was all BSU, all the time. And they didn't even need the ops that they bought, even using the kind of impromptu, this is mine now situation to draw aggro. It's just, it's mind games at that point.
It is, and it works for them so well. Boise State have this aggressive nature, even when they're on defense, that I think tends to throw a lot of teams for a loop. They don't know how to deal with just the unbridled aggression that comes from Boise State. And so, you can't look everywhere in Valorant. You have to keep an eye on the right angles at the right times. And Boise State just seemed excellent at exploiting those tiny windows to get picks where they need them. It puts them up 6 rounds as we, come out of the half. They're going to switch sides and be on the attacking round now. We'll see if CSC has any more success on the defending round. They do like to play defensively on their attacking round, so perhaps that will suit them as they become the defenders here.
Yeah, I want to see what happens here if Boise State isn't necessarily able to get the immediate lead that they were given. Again, now they're on the opposite side of the field. They have the burden of victory, as I like to call it. You know, you have to win the round as opposed to just tie it out. So we'll see what the situation will be if they are unable to do that. But again, I mentioned how well they are able to manage their resources. The question is, how can they do when they are destitute?
We're going to see here, Jazak going to throw out the recon arrow, see if anybody gets pinged up by that. I think one might have been as the grenade comes out, the hot hands to try and deny space. As CSC going to be pushed out of their own point, they're going to have to retake as Boise State have taken the space they need and will plant the spike. The blind comes out, but nobody going to die from that. Flakio does go down to a headshot. Jabald with 2 early on here. Wow, kills coming everywhere. One player left for CSC, just the Omen. He's going to get... Jabald with the ace!
Oh! Jabal!
Oh, a little bit of a tactical crouch there. You know, you got to give it to him.
It's fine, but like, are they offering you a massive scholarship? You don't got to do them that dirty. You could like let them play the game at least just a little bit. I know you got the cool silencer, the old 007 PP, you know, 007 situation. Jeez, man, that was rude. That was a rude dude scenario.
Oh my!
Give that guy a high five.
That was incredible. I mean, that was the first ace I've seen so far in Boise State's competitive Valorant, and I really enjoyed watching Jabal just take CSC to task there. It was
a quick moment of like, is he gonna hit it though? He had that, you know, 2 or 3 shots on the silencer where you're like, oh maybe, and then he finally was able to land the killing blow. So we'll see how it exchanges. Another shot coming out here on the left-hand side as it looks like Broken gonna find one. The entirety of Boise State is going to find another ball falling there. Shot coming out. Broken gonna find another with all those resources we were talking about. Broken is an absolute monster right now, finding a third there if I am not mistaken. CSC with 2 left. Spike is going to be planted, so Boise State needs to get their fast boots on, and they are moving in right now.
Looks like they're gonna. That's gonna be the quick team kill as Zeke and Jazak are both gonna spray them down with the Spectre that they're holding each. And wow, 11 rounds up to 3. We are fast approaching match point territory. And you know, as scary as it is to be on match point, for like 10 rounds straight is just mind-boggling. I don't see CSC coming back from this one unless something changes drastically. We could see that hero play reverse sweep coming out here, but sure. I think that, you know, 10 rounds in a row, especially if Boise State pick up this next one, they're likely to get what they need in order to finish this off, but we'll have to see how it goes.
Voiceless, I'm going to give you my #1 piece of casting advice. Any team, any day. However, you are absolutely correct. This looks nothing short of dire for CSC. That's the word I'm going to use right now because you're right. That is a massive differential. And as far as gameplay and mechanics so far are concerned, Boise State looking strong. Looks like we are going to get some smoke here. Mowed down immediately. Standards is going to find one there. And CSC showing signs of life as we got showers and a hard rush at that as Boise State is going to crash through that door.
Looks like the blind coming out. Oh, blinded up. Jabal gonna be, barely able to never mind. Not going to escape with his life as CSC Sanders takes him down with the spray from the Spectre. Zeke getting one of his own. Almost gets one with the aim down sights there. Jazak picking up the Vandal and getting what he needs. Ouch! Jazak with 3 getting everything he needs to finish off that round and take us to match point.
Match point. Absolutely filthy, man. Any person on this Boise State roster is completely capable of popping off. There is no need for, you know, a support kind of situation. Hey, I need your help. Any one of these players is capable of just filling the opponent with lead and walking away with the point. It's actually pretty impressive to see as we have one more match probably in our future.
That's one of the reasons I'm really happy to see Boise State playing the Reyna here. Her capability to pop off, you know, when you don't get kills, she's pretty trash to your character. But when you do get kills, she is insane. And because of the ability to Boise State to pop off at just any moment, they are able to make use of that Reyna whenever they need to. So I'm glad to see them fielding her.
Absolutely. So Boise State going to lose one right off the bat. No big. We'll see what the situation is. Again, Boise State, huge lead. They can kind of just mess around if they want. They need to be wary. If they mess around too much, they're going to lose all of the space that they have created for themselves. Looks like they are eyeballing this corridor here. Going to walk straight through the smoke. Visions are out. And yeah, that great crossfire right there is going to allow them to pull the aggro in, but Jabald is going to fall there as Saint is going to find him. Teleporter is used. They do have the information. Just kind of sit and wait. The audio cue is enough to kind of give them an idea. They have two people staring down that teleporter area, hoping for somebody to make a move, but it looks like they are just going to slow rotate back over to A. A little sneaky maneuver here. We'll see if anyone's got eyes. I don't believe so. I firmly think the entirety of CSC is currently looking at B, but we'll see if they decide to make a move here.
Yeah, Chizu, those points are one way, those teleporters, so when you go through them, you don't get to come back.
Right.
You got to walk your way
30 seconds
back.
left.
And now Boise State does rotate so slowly that CSC is able to get some men on the defense here, but if they had rotated faster, that point was completely empty for a while. Is Zeke going to use his Vandal to pick up a kill? Oh, only one left for Boise State. Zeke is going to have to be the hero in a 3 versus 1 scenario here. Sends out the, or gets hit by the blind actually, coming through the showers.
10 seconds left.
Gets one. He's got 2 on either side of him. He's going to have to play this very carefully. The spike is down right next to the truck there, so getting it would be very risky. Oh! Time runs out. Time runs out.
Yeah, it's just one of those situations where you can try to be the hero or just hold on to what you have. But it does look like that's going to be that, from my understanding, for switching over here. I thought that was the other way around, but maybe I'm wrong.
No, we do have one more round.
That's what I thought. I got trolled here. I got spooked.
You got bamboozled.
I got gnomed, man. That's all right. I'm just glad to know that I apparently still know what I'm talking about, at least in the intermediate.
That's okay. We've all been there. Last week, I had one of the most unfortunate throws I've ever had in my life because I wasn't sure if the cue card was coming up or not. So that's all right. We have all been there.
It happens, dude. We've all been there. So either way, man, a good night here for Boise State University. CSC, not absolutely abysmal. They're doing a pretty good job, especially as far as like just being put up against the wall. You do see that they have found a couple of rounds, and they were able to pick up that one. Oh my goodness, Jabald just gives them the old, hey, how are you, right in the dome.
Wow, Sanders, I'm surprised he didn't get that kill. He was all set up. He should have expected somebody coming through that door at some point, but he just seemed surprised that anybody was there at all. Wow.
And again, just happens. It's like, hey, how are you? Like I said, we weren't expecting it. There's one. He's got the other on his left-hand side, not going to find it, but it looks like Jabald able to find one on his way down here. Zeke is moving on up, and they are rotating immediately over to the B side.
They know that CSC had rotated to the A side, expecting a push to come from there, so they outflank them. He knows that a couple of the CSC players... Oh, not going to quite get him, but he will get a ton of damage done there. Zeke going to finish him off, and now CSC have to re-engage into Boise State, who are holding the point themselves. Oh, unfortunate blind. It's going to go right past Broken. Broken going to pick up the headshot right there. And finally, Boise State will finish us out and get the 13-4. Wow, what a game between Boise State.
Broken runs in there, trying to mow everybody down. 1v2, he's got like the Rambo music going on in the background and has that, oh no, I've got 2 shots left, has to reload. Has the awareness to switch over to his pistol, but Zeke's like, don't worry, buddy. I got your 6. Able to close that out for him. Just like solid play all around from Boise State from those last few seconds that we saw to just the dominant early lead.
That was just an incredible match to watch. I love that CSC, I feel like they did a very good job in a lot of different aspects. It just seemed like they had one tempo. They can go slow. And if you try and force them to play any other tempo, they struggle. But I think when they are allowed to play slow, they showed some really bright spots. And I think if they're given the chance to practice a little bit more and adapt to some quicker play, able to respond with some aggressive play of their own, they do stand a chance to be a very bright squad here in their near future. It was just unfortunate. Boise State seemed to know exactly which buttons to press to keep them on their back foot there.
Well, not only that, when they were on the back foot on the Boise State side, they were able to springboard themselves back like off of a wall superhero style, even if the resources weren't there. And we saw that in many multiple disadvantage rounds, if you will, that worked out super strong. So again, we'll see what happens here as we move along. But I really liked what I saw from Boise State, obviously. But as far as Stockton is concerned, just did a very solid job.
We're going to be heading into our second map here very soon. I'm unsure on which map it is exactly, but it'll be interesting to see if maybe that map just wasn't CSC's map. You know, Bind does have some unique quirks. Those teleporters and a couple of different angles can be difficult to hold, especially going through A main. So depending on where we go for our second map, they may be able to make quite a bit more of a dent in Boise State's lead. We'll see if they can come out with anything on top of this as we head into our second map.
Well, and I don't see any hero changes or champion changes, whatever we're calling these guys, operator changes at this point, because everyone did a solid job with the resources that they were given. I didn't see any glaring issues. Nobody flashing, their own teammates, that kind of situation. In fact, we saw the outplay there at the very end, walking in front of the flash from the Phoenix, which was super, clutch for the side of Boise State. So just mechanics cleanup. I would like to see what happens if CSC gets a massive lead. They weren't really given the opportunity in either side of this match to really exploit what they had.
Well, as we head up, we're coming into our next map here, we're going to bring you Doc's keys to the game in Valorant. You need to play to your win condition. You got to keep an eye on that clock. Make sure you use your ults in the correct positions and peek them corners. Doc's keys to the game are brought to you by Count. Count's Identity Trust Global Network delivers real-time fraud prevention, account protection, and enables personalized customer experiences for more than 9,000 leading brands and payment providers. Linked by Count's award-winning AI, the Identity Trust Global Network analyzes signals from 32 billion annual interactions in order to personalize user experiences across the spectrum of trust, from frictionless experiences to blocking fraud. Quick and accurate identity trust decisions deliver safe payment, account creation, and login events while reducing digital fraud, chargebacks, false positives, and manual reviews. Count.com. As we load up into our next game here, it looks like CSC will be starting once again as the defenders, Boise State as the attackers. My mistake. The roles were reversed in the last one. Boise State were the defenders in the first round last time, so it is a role reversal from our last map. We are playing on Ascent, garbage map if you ask me, but that's okay.
Tell me how you really feel, voiceless. You really hear that voice of yours. Why don't you like this map, actually?
I feel like it is way too hard to recontest on this map. So if you have an aggressive team, and I expect to see Boise State abuse this comprehensively, if you have an aggressive team that hard pushes 1 point, it just becomes a nightmare for the defending team to try to recontest. So you're kind of rewarded for reckless aggression on this map in a lot of different ways. Although, as I say that, Verizon gets the opening pick onto Jabal, but they answer back 2 of their own, 3 of their own, making this a 4v2 in favor of Boise State as the door will come down and the spike will get planted.
Yowza, you might as well just melee him at that point because you might actually hit it. A lot of rounds expended there in that corner. But yeah, Boise State, like you said, coming out super strong right off of the get-go. Spike is planted, and now they have to decide how they want to go about this. Zeke is going to fall. St. J going to find him there. Phoenix Flash could be coming out here in the near future. Might as well get the recon dart out while we are there. The same corner and cross map. He's going to find 2.
Just a disgusting flick there from Pittman. He's going to get both of them as headshots as well. And that's difficult to do with the Ghost because it has a lot of recoil and there is no ADS on that puppy. You got to line it up and take the shot yourself. Very impressive there coming from him.
Like we said, minimal resources, and Boise State's able to just drop whoever they need to and then some. That second shot, the second kill more than anything, was actually more impressive than the first one, if not only for the fact that he picked up 2 in that corner. That is a communications kind of awareness situation, because I don't think he ever left from minute 130.
Now this is the most even way to play Ascent. This midpoint is pretty evenly distributed between the attacker and the defender, so Boise State going to push up through there, placing a tripwire at the entrance to B, so they'll know if anybody tries to flank them from the backside there. Jabald on catwalk, hiding in the Omen smoke. If anybody tries to push in there, they are going to get a headshot courtesy of Jabald and that spicy-looking gun that he's holding, although Zeke will pick up the first kill.
Gives him the old silencer, man, gives him the treatment, and finds the immediate kill there. So looks like Jabal rotating right, but they have 2 there, and they're able to mow him down so quick. Zeke is going to plant now. Boise State just needs to lie and hope that maybe they can find a couple with a little bit of a cat and mouse scenario.
And this is a little bit what I was talking about in regards to Ascent. See, Boise State have completely locked it down. Sure, CSC is down 2 players. This is a 3 versus 5. But even so, there's really only 2 points that they can aggress from, the door and Heaven. And if they're locked down, as they are right now, Zeke with the smoke on the door and Heaven completely locked down by the rest of the squad, there's nowhere CSC can come in from. It's absolutely brutal to be outmaneuvered on this map because coming back into a recontest is almost never going to work in your favor.
Oof, and bodies dropping all over. Zach is going to find one, Broken and finding another. But CSC is able to find one as well, but time is done. Attacker's going to win that one. And that's going to be Boise State picking up their second of this match.
Now, I will say, as much as I've said about this map being, attacker favored if the event that the attacker gets onto point, It's a little bit more balanced than I make it sound. It's still not my personal favorite map, but it's more balanced than I make it sound because those points are so defender favored. Now, when the attackers do get into position, yes, the defenders have one heck of a time trying to recontest, but the defenders have some of the most aggressive and difficult to push chokes available in the game. There is 2 chokes that you have to push through if you want to go to A, and B has that incredibly impressive garage flank that is so hard to get through. So the defenders do have some, you know, resources available to them to try and keep Boise State from pushing in too heavily here.
Opportunity at the very least, but right there, Jabald going to cut one of those resources short, finding a second there as well down the corridor, looking for more right here, Boise State. Going to be found, that's a headshot, Jabald with 3, looking for the rest of CSC. Will they even commit it? It looks like St. J going to find Broken there. Now they have eyes, or at least mental information as to where the opponent is, and now the decision is where do we hunt them down, and Boise State right in so good. Again, Jabald getting a trip right there. Feels pretty good, looking for more firing corners, just making sure that they don't do anything if they can help it.
They're going to move across the catwalk and plant onto B. They're getting all set up underneath Heaven. Going to probably shut that door and keep all the enemies locked out of there. Yep, door's coming down now. And it looks like because they have a 2 versus 4, CSC are once again going to back away and let Boise State have the 3-1 lead. They'd like to keep the guns that they currently have, and they'll keep... they'll try and, you know, make the lead, make a dent in the lead that Boise State has achieved so far in a later round. It seems like they're just going to let this one go. Honest.
I'm picturing the SpongeBob meme right now where he's like, tell him it's your map. He's like, that's my map. Now let him have it. He's like, you can have it.
Yeah.
Like, every time CSC pulls off, like, I understand, I get it, and the reason they're doing it, it just does not feel good no matter which way you're looking at it. Unless you're like a super Boise State fan, and then it's all right. But it's a smart move, you know, just hold on, minimize the losses that you are occur, and pray that the next round, you know, goes better.
I want to back up just a little bit in this buy phase and talk about Jabald's aggressive fade that he used there against on the catwalk. You know, he uses the Rain of Fade, which makes him invulnerable to damage for a short time. But when you come out of it, there's a short animation of her kind of like putting her gun back out and resetting her hands and everything. And usually if you come out of a fade while that animation plays in front of an enemy, you're dead to rights.
Right.
And he lived through it. He had no business being alive there, and he still managed to get the headshot and win that 1v1. Just insane.
There's been a significant amount of like almost caught Jack Sparrow from like this whole situation. Headshot there from Broken as Sanders is going to fall. But Boise's just been really good about getting away from sticky situations, even if they don't deserve to be there. You know what I mean? You jump in on a handful of people and hope there's no one there. Suddenly there's 2. And they've been able to turn those fights. It's actually pretty impressive to cover in that kind of an aspect, not only mentally, but
looks like Boise State, ooh, is he going to notice that there is a flank coming through there? Broken may get caught out here. Ooh, wow, the smoke comes through at just the right time and saves Boise State as they rotate across there. That was very close. Boise State do seem to favor pushing across the catwalk and then over through the door to A site while smoking off that door. Oh, Verizon going to get caught eventually. Just wondering if he might catch somebody as he flanked around from the backside, but that flank that they've used across catwalk and going into A site has worked for them so many times now. Broken with a headshot of his own.
Broken was able, yep. Able to find that one there. They have the information. Zeke going to find Aaron there, or Aaron, depending on how you use the English language. And yeah, CSU, unfortunately, or CSC, I'm sorry, with one other individual looking pretty dire here. Spike already planted. Boise State's already pulled off. St. J, they'll look a couple of resources if he can find him, but doesn't look like the Broncos are anywhere near that area, so a pretty clean sweep right there for BSU. Not even going to try to defuse.
And I do like that play from St. J. I mean, when you know the point is lost, you're not going to win the 1v. Oh, that's very unfortunate.
No!
That is so unfortunate. I cry every time.
Oh, that's like when it's Christmas and you want the Great Adventure Castle, but then instead your parents just get divorced. Like it is. That's exactly what it is. They're like, what's this? Oh, I have to. Oh no. Oh. That's unfortunate, man. Because we were commending him. We were telling him everything was fine. Everything's great. Everybody loves Oh.
I was just about to. You're right. I was just about to commend St. J for the play there. I like the idea to catch people rotating away from the bomb as it explodes. You know, try and swing the econ game back in your favor by picking up some exit kills on some people who aren't expecting it. But I mean, that's not even necessarily his fault. It's just sad to see.
Well, right. Like, you didn't anticipate that, because that clipped through the walls and everything. You know, you tried. You get a trophy for that alone. Is Jazak going to find that one as well? Aaron going to fall in the process. Boise State looking very BSU-y and doing everything they can to find the early aggression.
Jazak has the op. The game is over now, everybody. I'm just kidding. We need to keep watching the rest.
next.
Yeah. But we will see. He was absolutely dominant in the last map with that op. We'll see if he can continue that dominance in this one. The Rain of Blind coming out, although nobody within LOS of it for right now. They are going to... Oh! The Judd coming out from Verizon going to catch Jabal, but then he will be equalized by Pittman. One in heaven. He will be revealed by the recon dart. They know where he is. Spray coming down, but they will not catch the CSC Phoenix Flake there. The door has been shut, and both CSC players on the other side of it. Zeke with the headshot going to take down CSC Sanders. Oh, wow. Oh, St. J going to barely live through and get Zeke when he was hit with the unfortunate reload timing. Wow. Now, Boise State did win that round, and kudos to them. But I was very impressed with the amount of exit kills they picked up there by CSC. That will make a bit of a dent in the Boise State econ game, and that was excellently played there by St. J. I think he might have had 3 in that round.
He was immediately saved by the reload gods. Thankfully for him, he was able to get the first one off of that at least, and then followed up with at least one more. So yeah, he may have gotten the try there, but man, what a solid stance, even if the round did fall. And like you mentioned, just going to take out a little bit of the wind from the sails of Boise State University. But again, 5-round lead, this is looking pretty familiar.
Yeah, they've probably still got enough bank that they can lose another 2 or 3 of those rounds and still be all right.
Sure.
The recon bolt will come out from Boise State in mid there, but actually nobody from CSC is contesting mid. Now they'll probably know, due to the very loud footsteps and the amount of rotating, that Boise State are headed that direction. But they are holed up in pizza and outside the CT spawn there, so we'll see if anybody can catch Boise State as they rotate. The Rain of Blind coming out, and Jabal was so ready for that. It's almost like he knew where it was coming from, the headshot on St. J there.
Off your feet!
Oh, the Rolling Thunder coming in.
Looks like it is going to hit quite a few members. Sanders able to find one, give him 2, and is it a third Flake going to find that one for the side of CSC? And that is a huge momentum shift for the side of CSC as Boise State just gets pincered there, and they're going to lose quite a few people in the process.
Jabal going to be revealed. He may not be long for this world. He's got 2 people pushing into them. What? Pittman with 2. He's going to save his buddy there. Oh, Pittman with the hero play, but it's not enough. Wow.
CSC. Wow. One of those situations where you're not exactly sure how it's going to unfold, and then CSC just comes out swinging, man. Again, looking super familiar. Now they need to carry this momentum. We've seen them pick up 1 or 2 rounds, and then they'll give them 3 or 4 more. I want to see another round right here. I want to see a back-to-back, and then I will have just a smidgen more faith. But right now, both of these teams playing their hearts out, man.
Absolutely, and with that absolutely dominant round and some kills for each of the players there for CSC, they're all going to have some pretty good guns. They got an op of their own that I believe they may have picked up from the corpse of who was that, Jabal? I can't remember who had.
Might have been Jabal, but
whoever had the
broken.
Yeah.
Going to be falling there. Zeke also looking to pick up one. So that equalizes 1 aside. So now we take a handful of seconds, breathe, recollect, reload, and see what's next.
Jabal with the back out of the smoke there. It seems like Boise State are actually going to rotate away. They've decided that for once they don't like the mid push. They're going to rotate through garage for the first time this map with Jazak coming through on the backside. Got to be careful with those footsteps. Somebody might hear you. Footsteps in Valorant are very loud.
Give them the old bamboozle, you know what I mean? It's one of those situations where they've gone this way every single time. Eventually, they have to switch. And as the individual switching, it's a little unnerving, you know, breaking the mold, trying to figure out which way you want to attack the, you know, change in pattern, if you will. So we'll see what Boise State does here. And they immediately just head on in. 4 strong here. Going to bust out the op, looking for any possible heads to pop. Zeke is going to plant here. One is down. Zach going to find that one without issue. Spike is going to be planted. Boise State looking pretty good here. They're even going to have the recon drone here. Should be able to find, if 1, not 2 of these individuals, they will find the Phoenix here. Oh my goodness, but from behind, Sanders with the pop lock and drop there. And now it looks like CSC's looking to push through. The ultimate is going to be used there from Phoenix. 3 aside. Here comes the Sova, all dropping 1. Zeke, Jabal was the other. Sanders was able to find 1 there. And CSC is looking half health on a Sova, and that's it. Reload! Oh no! Zeke is probably face-checking the keyboard, if not slamming the R there, as it does look like a 1 aside here. Spike again has been planted. Jabal needs to be safe here, but it does look like CSC has killed out. They're actually just going to lose the individual from Boise State, but Boise will pick up the round.
Oh, the most unfortunate reload I may have seen all game there. It does give CSC the actual man advantage at the end of that round. Boise State going to lose every gun that they were carrying at the cost of the round there. So will the one gun that CSC managed to escape with be the difference maker in this next fight? Is it possible that they could turn this? It'll be interesting to see how Boise State's economy may have shifted based on losing all of their guns there. I'm not sure what their bank is at this point, but it'll be interesting to see if they do favor that that B push again. It seemed to have some success for them.
Area.
They are heavily loaded up. They've got 3 on that side. Oh, CSC Sanders with the wall bang, going to take out Jabal in the head there, putting an early lead for... oh, boy, Broken going to even it up, though, so we're back at a 4v4 even game. Broken getting the wall bang there back onto CSC.
Oh, and I said I wanted to see CSC run 2 in a row, and I may not have gotten that, but we got Jet coming out here as Broken is looking for something, is going to be darted, so they know that they are there. As it looks like, as not going to worry about it, go ahead, follow with a drone of your own. You've already burned it. You've got to use it. Just make sure you hit those shots and make it worth your resource here. Again, oh, man, it looks like Pigman's going to find that one there as Sanders going to drop. Let's see what the rest of Boise State's maneuver is here. And yes, with the opportunity, a couple of daggers in the heart is not going to be enough. Not able to follow up through the floor either.
Wow, barely escaping with his life there. 7 HP on Broken, but the Neural Theft has put CSC in a tricky position. They know that there is nobody behind them. They know that everybody from CSC is going to... Boise State, I believe, is knowing that everybody from CSC is going to have to rotate from either door or heaven. So that'll be interesting to see if they are able to hold down the flank there. Oh, the unfortunate peek from Verizon. You know, you got to peek one angle first, and sometimes it's the wrong one.
No rewind available there, and it looks like Boise State will pick up that one again as well. CSC, unfortunately, just not able to recuperate their gains and losses, I guess, if you will, from those last 2 rounds. Because, again, they picked up a round, they stalemated the other one, had Boise State fall out, and then, unfortunately, were not able to pick up that 3rd subsequent round, which kind of spells bad news. Again, if Boise State is coming at you with no buys, and you're using not only their weapons, but your own against them that have been elevated as far as resources concerned, that's a little unnerving.
Yeah, and it looks like CSC may actually be going for a half buy in this round. I'm not sure what exactly ended up shaking out, but I saw quite a few pistols being held, not many rifles being bought in that round, so they may be looking to, you know, going for a half buy, possibly a save. It'll be interesting to see if they can pick anything up in this round when they're, you know, statistically at a weapons disadvantage. Is that going to be blinded there? He's going to be pushed out of his opping position in mid. And CSC seem to be heavily favoring the A side. Only one player playing on B, although Boise State will be pushing right into the greater mass of players from CSC there as they rotate around to A side. Going to look to go through A main there as a group of 5.
Yeah, so far no real vision, just a lot of, is anyone there? Do I got a tick mark? Just a lot of information gathering at that point, but as it appears, it looks like Boise State going to rotate this way, making sure they can get rid of that dart, as it will have an opportunity to kind of give a quick idea of who is in the area as they are pushing here, like you said, onto the A side. Get some vision there with your drone and see where you go from there. Cover up Haven, go ahead, spray and pray, and it looks like Broken Zeke going to be gifted one aside. Spike is going to be planted. Boise State does have a line on this, and in fact, they're going to find Sanders, who actually stood in the middle of their team for almost an uncomfortable amount of time here, and firing more shots up there into Haven is the rest of Boise State looking for anything here. They know he's there. They're just going to port up there. They're going to drop him. Zeke going to find that one with an aggressive teleport up top, and that is going to be that for this round. That is certainly Boise State's victory, and they may even keep everybody in the process.
Now, St. J with the hero ghost here may be able to... Never mind. Zeke with 3 in that... Yeah, exactly. Zeke with 3 in that round as the celebratory spray comes out from Boise State. They are in an absolutely dominant position. 8 rounds to 1. We are headed quickly into the end of the half here, and it'll be interesting to see whether CSC can claw back any round victories headed into the half, or whether this will be, you know, a 11-1 half, putting Boise State in a nearly undefeatable position going into the defensive side there, especially as this map, you know, can favor the defenders if they play it right and are able to keep keep the attackers off of the point. So it looks like
absolutely, man.
After the half buy from the last round, CSC have gone into an absolute full buy. They've got a couple of ops and rifles. Oh. That was filthy. That was filthy, my son.
Unfortunate, man. He reloads in his face, is caught unaware, and still manages to land the one shot. It just... it feels good. It feels great. Now he's going to fire from the dark. We'll see if he'll be able to pick this. We've seen it more than once. St. J's going to find somebody. He's going to find Broken there with the op. And that rotation from the other side, using the opposing smoke against himself. Uses that to outflank. Picks up another there. Pikmin is going to fall. Or, I'm sorry, pick up two as Verizon going to fall there. St. J also dropping into the process. And right there, another headshot as Flake is going to find that one. 1v2 by his lonesome, looking for the angles and does have a look if he wants to take it.
The spike has not been planted. It's going to be planted now, but Flake does have the opportunity to get this. They will hear that hot hands cue. They know that he is in heaven between the hot hands and the recon bolt. Down to 20 HP. He does have the flame wall. He can heal up a little bit, but it's still a 1v2, and they have locked down both of the entrances that he can take at this point. So if he wants to come in, he's going to have to do it from door or heaven, and both are currently watched by Boise State. The flash will come out. Nobody within line of sight. Nobody's actually going to be blinded by that. The spray will come out from underneath heaven. Not going to catch him just yet. He knows somebody is across the way, but I think hearing the timer of the spike pip up,
I'm out.
Yeah, he's going to decide he doesn't want any of that. He doesn't think he can get both kills and get the defuse in time, so he'd rather save the Vandal he's holding right now and head into the next round. But that means Boise State is going to have an 8-round lead and make this 9-1, as both Boise State players will escape with their guns as well.
That's pretty neat. Also, again, not a Valorant caster by normal nature. I was today years old when I learned you could shoot up through that floor. Like, it just blows my mind today. That's the big learn for me today. If there's anything you gathered from this game today, it's that you can shoot through that floor up into heaven, and that's again, Boise State exploiting at this point beyond recognition. Whether it's, again, those sneaky flanks that we saw off of opposing smokes, or just pure map awareness and the stranglehold they've had since round one. It's looking really good if you're a Boise State fan right now.
Absolutely. And you know, they're going to send out the mid recon dart into mid here. They're not going to find anybody with it because everybody from CSC is playing back behind walls, and with the exception of the Reyna in mid there, are actually playing on one of the points right now. But Jazak with the immediate headshot. Sit down, St. J. You're going to get your head taken off. But Flake will answer with 1-2 of his own. They're actually in a man advantage, CSC.
Looking really good as the map rotates sides. Already off to a pretty strong start. Jabald gonna even it up though, and now we're looking a smidgen more familiar. Jabald says, what spike, what game, please take a nap. And is going to drop a hair right there. We'll see how the rest of it unfolds. The CSC's 2v3 should have a little bit of information. JK, LOL, Sanders, and Aaron taken out too, and Boise State with one individual remaining looking for something, and that ult's gonna hit pretty hard. The follow-up shots from Aaron are good enough. A nice stack there going over to CSC.
Incredible use of the rolling thunder there. I love it. There's a temptation with ultimates, especially in Valorant, to try and save them to get some massive 5-man kill. But in Valorant, individual skill and one player can turn the tide of a fight so quickly that it can be worth it to use an ult just to get one kill. And in that scenario, the Breach ultimate works perfectly, taking out the round, finishing it up, and giving CSC their second round win. They are going to keep several of the guns that he took into that round and reset Boise State's econ just a little bit, so they may have a bit of an advantage going into this round. This is the last one before halftime, but we'll see if they can pick up a third round win and make this at least a 9-3 going into the half.
Absolutely. If I'm CSC, I'm looking for like a kitchen to find a sink to throw into this because I've already thrown everything else because Jabald's picking up a pair right there. And the Jet is up, and away with information gathered. St. J gonna drop Broken there, who was hyper-aggressive, but you gotta respect it. Jabald waves before he lays his finger onto the trigger there and decides to pick up one as well. CSC with 2 remaining. St. J is looking for something, but Zeke is going to plant this one here. As we're continuing to fire off, and another set there as Verizon is able to find Jabald, ending that streak right there. And now weapons being exchanged, questions being asked, what do we want, what do we need, and where do we go from here?
Jabald and Flake just looked each other longingly in the eyes for about 10 seconds before they shot each other back there. But Zeke and Jazak will finish the round off, putting Boise State at a comfortable 10-2 going into the half. Econ is completely reset. So the Econ disadvantage that CSC has been at this entire time is completely gone now. So as we head into the pistol round, the first pistol round can snowball into the second, which can snowball into the third, and so on. The Econ does get reset at several points throughout the half, but the first few rounds can be decided quickly and easily by whoever wins the very first pistol round here. So as it does look bleak for CSC, there is also the opportunity for them to come back if they can make this pistol round work in their favor. They also have the defender's advantage on a map that can feel very oppressive to play against. So
no, listen, you just run shotguns and you run jet and you just run and gun, and it plays more like Doom than it does Valorant, and you're just fine. It could never go wrong. That's my personal opinion.
My mistake there. I actually got a little confused. CSC are the attacking team. So
that's all right, man.
That's all right.
It happens.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. They do have that relaxed, comfortable, slow play style, and it is going to pick up Jabal early in the round here, although Zeke will answer back with one of his own. Oh, exchanging fire from the Classic there, but Jazak will come out on top. Is the spray through the smoke going to come in? He does see... Oh, wow. The Ghost coming in from Pittman, going to even things up. It's a 3 versus 2 in Boise State's favor, but they are going to have to recontest as the spike is down, and CSC does have control of the point.
Wow, and yeah, that's looking not so good for CSC. Gonna find that one though. Verizon looking pretty spicy here. The smoke coming out here from Jet. Is she gonna walk on through? Hey, how are you? Oh, you're not. You're toast right there. And it looks like Zeke is going to defuse that. Boise State will pick up this round, and they will look pretty good doing it as well.
Leaving the defuse for the Jet there. Jet is a little bit closer to her ultimate, and it can be a little more impactful. The Omen ult can be, make a big difference, but the Jet ult can play a huge deal in your Econ because, you can use it to get a kill with the knives, which can be deadlier than any gun, and then, you got a free gun, so that can make a big Econ swing, especially if you're able to use it on somebody with a, an expensive gun, the Omen, either of the Vandal, Phantom, or the Op, something like that. So it is valuable to give your Jet the extra ult point. She may be able to pick something up with it and get you the Econ swing that you're looking for. Boise State up 11-2.
I think you're missing the biggest point. It is also flashy.
It's super cool.
It's super satisfying to jump on in, and we saw Broken actually attempt that, so we don't want to see that situation reinvent itself, if you will, because he did get very, very brave with that ultimate, so he does need to kind of, if they're going to gift him that resource, they need to make sure they use it correctly, if you will, despite how much I love the aggressive play. But Broken doesn't even need the ult, uses his own weaponry to take care of it. Jabald doing the same there. Boise State already off to a great start here in this round, finding 2 right off the bat.
Omen very tagged up from CSC there. That's CSC Sanders. Incredibly low health, and there is no... Oh, he's going to go down. There is no Sage to heal anybody up in this round, so damage is mostly permanent here. Jabald going to spray down Verizon with his Spectre, and just St. J on the Reyna remaining for CSC. Now, he has outmaneuvered Boise State. He's on the wrong side of the map, but he doesn't have the spike. So it doesn't really get any good. He's just going to wait there.
No, you can get brave. Put on your brave pants and go to brave work and get yourself there by shooting yourself out of your brave cannon and hope you land on your brave feet and see what happens.
30 seconds left.
Honestly, for the first time, most of the time I'm in favor of CSC saving their guns, but all that St. J has right now is a Spectre. That's a cheap gun. And Boise State is starting to run away with the Econ. If I were in his position, I would set up in an off angle and try and look for a couple flank kills as this round exits because, 1,600 credits for a save is not worth it, especially when you are already down almost all the rounds. Although, being down 9 rounds, about to be 10 rounds, he's going to go down anyway.
Listen, it's not cheap, it's effective. It's cost efficient, okay? Don't you ever demean weaponry like that ever again. It's not cheap, it's cost effective.
I apologize. I apologize to everybody who's ever played with and everybody who's ever manufactured the Spectre gun. I will make a formal apology as soon as this match is over.
You also should be ashamed of yourself.
I am very ashamed of myself. But yeah, it's just... what I was about to say is the round ended very explosively there. I think when you've lost the first round and you're down 10 rounds, lost the first map and you're down 10 rounds in the second, there's also just some morale. There's some morale going on here, especially when a round opens up like that. I think you just feel defeated in your head, and it's hard to come back from that once you're tilted and you're down 10 rounds and you're on match point about to lose the game.
You just jump up and down multiple times, apparently, is what you do, because that actually hurts in both, your head, your shoulders, as well as your knees and toes in that instance, because right off the bat, you lose one guy, this is it. You have to find something here and it kind of looks like CSC is living on a prayer, Bon Jovi style.
Jazak with the Odin, hiding in the smoke. Now, if he starts to spray, that will take out any opper. Yep, just like that. The op will never compare to the Odin at that short range. Jazak, see? You got ammo for days. Just hold down mouse 1 and run. You win the game. That's all you got to do.
Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator action over here. He's like, come with me if you want to leave.
Flawless.
Fighting the T-5000 or whatever.
Defend
The ball
your
gonna come out. Disrespectful. Absolutely phenomenal. Boise State picking up the Wubba Lubba dub.
Absolutely diabolical there. You know how you flex on somebody? You finish them off with a flawless round. Oh, it's just gut-wrenching to see, and I really hope that CSC are able to learn something from this loss, maybe take advantage of the aggression that was poured onto them and learn that they need to learn a little bit more aggression themselves, because it can be demoralizing to lose like that, and I hope for their sake that they can take that lesson that they've learned and use that aggression to their advantage in future matches, and maybe they'll be able to pick up a win against somebody else using that aggression to their own. Playing
absolutely, and if you're on the side of CSC, you actually showed absolutely massive amounts of prowess. I mean, we were talking about St. J quite a bit, getting a couple of series kills, and again, the whole team looked great. It's just Boise State was that quicker. We were talking about the momentum and the pacing, and I do feel like CSC liked to take their time, liked to breathe, and Boise State was anything but that. Sonic got to go fast, and they went for it, and they were able to find it.
And it was interesting because CSC, honestly, if I had one thing to say about them, it's that they were all very mechanically skilled. I wasn't able to pick out any single player that, seemed to be bad at their job. It just seemed that Boise State had a game plan, and they were in the heads of CSC. Every time they rotated to the correct position. And it just seemed like the communication and the game plan was there for Boise State. And sometimes, as it was here today, that can be the difference maker. Not necessarily mechanical skill deciding the game here, but more the game plan and the strategy that Boise State decided to roll with.
If we had a little counter in the bottom of the screen, you would have also seen how many times Boise State had a shot opportunity and then was just totally boned by the reload, which is unfortunate. It happens. Again, we didn't have the other side, so maybe, it was something of that nature. You just have an off day. That's why I slam the R button after 1 or 2 shots. I die more times reloading as opposed to dying to I got to reload now situation. So you mentioned the mechanics. We definitely saw it on the side of CSC. Boise State just looking a little bit more polished in every single individual, I believe, had at least a trip at some point in time throughout the course of the series.
So we've discussed several times about how you can learn a lot more from your losses than your victories, but if you're the Boise State squad walking away from today, what is one thing you'd like to see them improve on as they head into their next game before we head up on into the play-in match a couple weeks from now?
Memes aside, reloading and not realizing where your clip is at is more of a tunnel vision kind of a situation, in my personal opinion. It's more that you're focused on what's in front of you as opposed to your HUD, what's around you. And just because of the way that the game sets up, that's just okay, we're aggressive, we got this. I take that half second to breathe. Just a little bit more patience on the aggression, if that makes any sense. A little bit more calculated strikes as opposed to that secondary panic. Collect yourself. We've seen it. Just bring it back after the initial engages.
All right, and do you have a favorite play of the day today that you would like to see in our top 5 replay that we have coming up a little bit later?
That's not fair. You can't put me on the board for that. Honestly, I would have to say Zeke was looking particularly nasty. And then, of course, as I space, there was a very, very filthy ace that we saw, and I can't remember who it was. And if that doesn't get it, then they have been absolutely just...
I believe that was Jabald's ace. And
I think it was Jabald. Okay, yeah.
I personally hope we get to see Jabald's ace. I'm going to throw it on over soon to the top 5 replays of the night, brought to you by our production team, the excellent, hardworking guys we've got going on over there in the booth. So we're going to send it on over to them, and we will see you guys next time. Signing off from the Valorant desk, I am Tim Voiceless Whitman, headed up by Adam Chizu McGuire. We will see you guys next time. Now in the NECC Skillshot Valorant Tournament, we are still in the group stages here in the early stages of the game, but don't...
Yeah, we'll see what it unfolds. I love the fact that the recon dart is becoming a huge problem / almost a duck hunt meme at this point. One shot coming out as Jazz gonna get one straight off of the Sova ult. That feels pretty good, man. You just kind of aim it right and see what happens. Another shot coming through. Jabald guesses. Jabald just so happy. State, like you said, coming out super strong right off of the get-go. Spike is planted. Now they have to decide how they want to go about this. Zeke is going to fall. St. J going to find him there. Phoenix Flash could be coming out here in the near future. Might as well get the recon dart out while we are there. The same corner and cross map. He's going to find two.
Just a disgusting flick there from Pittman. He's going to get... Defenders do have some, you know, resources available to them to try and keep Boise State from pushing in too heavily here.
Opportunity at the very least, but right there, Jabald going to cut one of those resources short, finding a second there as well down the corridor, looking for more right here, Boise State. Going to be found, that's a headshot, Jabald with 3, looking
to B site this time. They haven't had much luck on A site. Broken with a shot in the back on Aaron, and they are going to know exactly where he is, but it doesn't matter. Oh, gets away with the escape using the blast pack. I can't believe he went through that. Pittman going to pick up one. Jabal going to pick up one as Broken is taken down. It's a trade, but it's a 4v2 as CSC plants on the point there. Boise State have taken the space they need and will plant the spike. The blind comes out, but nobody going to die from that. Flakio does go down to a headshot. Jabal with 2 early on here. Wow, kills coming everywhere. One player left.